We are live. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to No Bucks Given, the show that we talk about anything and everything we want to talk about in the world going on today. It's been a while. We've No Bucks Given's kind of had this week. What?
He's trying to be Aaron Lewis from Stained.
So we got minimal crew this evening. We got Heather and JP, the power couple of the Horny Goat channel. What's up, guys?
Not much.
Not much, man. Not much. Just sitting here. I just finished a baseball game. I didn't get to play. It's not that I didn't. I just chose not to. I did a little bit, but it was frustrating the shit out of me, so I walked away from it.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, I was getting mad, but so I am sitting here, just finishing that up. Literally finishing it up as we speak.
It is episode 112 of No Bucks Given. Still can't believe we keep doing this shindig for as long as we have.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
And we got Alpha joining us in the chat. What's up, Alpha? Let us know your thoughts and everything. Don't forget the poll for HGGM mode is of course up on the community tab there. Make sure. I think it's tied again. I think it's tied 50-50 again. And I'll be honest. I think Raw won. I think Raw won last week, but we'll have to see.
I don't.
You were almost unconscious for half the stream, so and coming from me, that's saying something.
I seen everything going on though. I was more when I was starting. I was fucked up before we even started the stream. Trying to get fucked up again. What it is.
But I believe Forbidden Door is still going on, right?
I'm sure it fucking is.
It's still on.
Everybody, we're gonna talk about that fucking shit.
Okay.
I'm hearing fucking I'm gonna fucking go off on some shit on that shit. It's the fucking fans. It's not even the wrestling. Listen, it's not the fucking wrestling.
Didn't even say anything.
I have not watched the show. It's the fucking people that sit there and say, well, WWE had 14 matches in a fucking night. Yeah, but everybody fucking hated WWE for it. You fucking morons. You don't fucking have... Tony Khan says, we're going to be different. We're going to do this. But let's have 14 matches on the show.
I love how JP hasn't even seen the show, man. And this is him not seeing the show.
It's a Sunday fucking night. Every average... You know who he's catering to. He's catering to the fucking people who live in mama's basement. That's the fucking problem with Tony Khan and his fucking booking. His fans are the kids that live in the fucking mama's basement that think the shit is fucking cool, stabbing people in the face with fucking pizza cutters, fucking taking a fucking goddamn, what do you call them, light tubes, and fucking shoving them up someone's fucking ass, taking bamboo,
you said
and fucking smacking it and having it sticking out of their head like they're some sort of fucking Rugrats character. Get the fuck out of here, man. This shit is the reason why wrestling is dying.
Okay, so first off, you said 4 hours, right?
Well, I just wanted to get that off like that.
I could tell.
That thing burnt the shit out of me today.
Second of all, how are you doing, Heather?
Doing all right.
She's doing good, man. She's been sitting here coloring. She's been coloring for
I know, boy. I was just going through the intro. I was just saying, I think Forbidden Door is still going on, and then you just blam. You just fucking kick down the damn door.
There was a fucking post out there, and it just reminded me of what this is the kind of shit that pops up on my fucking feed every fucking day.
God damn it.
Every fucking day, the shit pops up on my feed.
Block it.
No, how? Hold on. I don't block things because it gives me something to fucking rant off about these stupid fucking fans. And the WWE fans are just as guilty of being dumb.
Yes, nobody's ever disagreed with that.
They are probably, I would argue, almost as bad, if not worse, than the AEW fans at times.
And Alpha, I wouldn't worry too much. I mean, we're gonna obviously, we'll get there. Don't. I wouldn't fret too much about the subject. So.
Oh, okay. The debate, we're gonna talk about that, whether anybody likes it or fucking not. It's a topic of the fucking day. It's that time of the fucking year. I have a theory on it. It didn't work. I wouldn't say it's not working for Trump, but we'll get into it. The Dr. Dude thing, I don't fucking know who that guy is. I remember what it was because I just seen his face up there. I actually want to get everybody's top 5. I wish Basement was here. I can do it with him. We can do it with him next week if he's here. Top 5 managers of all time.
Ooh, shit. Okay.
But we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
I do want to talk about the Steiner brothers. That documentary was on tonight. The WWE Legends is on AEW. So good. It's so good. There are some things on there that people think a lot of Scott Steiner as being this roided up fucking asshole.
He's not.
He's not.
He's far from it.
No, and I told you that. I told you he has that before.
I guarantee it. Basement will argue that, but he explains why he looked the way he did, and he never failed a drug test. So there's that. So I have to take it at his word that he didn't do it. Either that, or he's just really smart. However, just saying, which he is really smart.
Which makes me question his.
Did you know that he owns a Shoney's franchise?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes, I did know that.
I was listening to.
I was fascinated with him for like 6 months after I met him at He was at the TNA Lockdown pay-per-view when he was in Massachusetts, and he was at the Fan Fest. I got a chance to go to the Fan Fest, and I met him. And again, very down to earth. Like leaps and bounds smarter than you would expect.
Oh, the guys, both him and his brother.
Yes, yeah. Not to take away from Rick, although Rick.
But we'll get into. I want to talk about that.
Okay.
But other than that, the Forbidden Door. I mean,
that pay-per-view is probably still going to be going on by the time we're ready to end the show.
I don't even think it's watching. Yes, it might be at the main event. I don't know. I digress.
You can clearly tell that we care. I mean, Biden in the thumbnail cares. He's hugging that thing, and because it's only a couple of years old. Get it? Woo!
All right. So we'll get into it, but I'm gonna go get something to drink.
Okay.
I will be right back. Did you want something, or are you good? I don't have any alcohol for you.
Blowing up the wind.
Unless there's some mics in there.
If there's a mic in there, I'll take that. Otherwise, I'm good.
I'm looking at her boobs while she's talking to me.
That's all you ever look at. What are you talking about?
As opposed to.
I look at your eyes. And I'm
Color
looking.
are they then?
They're green.
Trust me, Alpha. I get what you mean. I get what you mean in the chat about that, and I think that if you're worried about with discussions amongst ourselves or us getting upset or angry, look, we're all such good friends at this point in time that we don't. I say this in the most respectful way possible.
We have such good friendships that we understand that we are debating each other, not arguing with each other. That's the difference. Yeah,
we're open to actual discussion and conversation as opposed to as much as I joke about JP being a fucking Fuhrer on SmackDown, as much, and it's funny because I said that about with him on the booking team with me and Rayshawn, is that you think oh no, fucking no. Here's why no. Okay, now I see where you're coming from. Let's see if we can morph that into this, and so it just becomes an easier conversation. So, point being is that we don't take ourselves too seriously when we need to, and we do when we need to. I don't fucking know. I'm too high right now. Point is that we'll be fine. Oh God, and I think I'll be honest with you. I think we all have the similar feeling about it. So,
yes, those are my glasses.
Okay. Hi, Wendy. God, apologies for the lack of graphics or anything like that. What's up, Jurgen? It's just Heather, JP, and myself this evening. Trek's got a bit of headache. Those damn allergies, man. They can kick.
They're really bad.
I don't know what I was about to say. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I'm getting fucking older, which isn't all a possibility, or God damn it, or I feel like they're just mega allergies this year. They're just crippling.
Some days I feel like it is.
Yeah. Oh, also there is the the Sunday Ticket, NFL Sunday Ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So the NFL, I think Sunday Ticket's being sued. I don't know. So apparently the NFL is suing. People are suing the NFL, and there was a big decision made on that. So we'll talk about that too.
All right. We'll get the small stuff out of the way. Let's talk.
We can talk the NFL thing real quick.
All right, go for it.
I want to get that out of the way. So
Floor is yours.
So anyway, the NFL was apparently sued over Sunday Ticket, and I'm going to go over some of the things here. There's 5 things here that are really big with this, I guess. I just seen little bits and pieces of this today, and I was going to mark it down, but I forgot to. So a jury in the U.S., and I'm reading this off of, and I'm looking at the McAfee show. Trek put this in here earlier. This is off the Pat McAfee show, and this is what he showed on his show, a list of things that for the lawsuit.
Okay.
So if you want to see that or watch it, it's actually a video. You can go. I'm not going to watch the
So
video
what's
or show the video or anything. I'm just going to read what it says.
I was gonna say, what's the bottom line as far as why they're getting sued?
So, and that there's 5 things here. So just bear with me on the speaking. A jury in U.S. District Court ordered the NFL to pay more than $4.7 billion in damages Thursday after ruling that the league violated antitrust laws in distributing out-of-market Sunday afternoon games on a premium subscription service. I don't know what that premium subscription service is.
Probably Prime.
That happens on Thursdays, not Sundays. So, like Peacock,
Yep.
the game's on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Here, I'll give my thoughts on this and how fucking stupid this lawsuit is. I think personally, a jury awarded $4.7 billion in damages to the residential class and $96 million in damages to the commercial class. The NFL could end up being liable for $14.39 billion.
Yep. I can see that happening.
So the lawsuit covered 2.4 million residential subscribers, not one of me, and 48,000 businesses in the United States who paid for the package of out-of-market games from the 2011 through 2022 seasons directly on DirecTV. Now, I don't know what this really means, and there's 2 more, but I think what they're saying is if they were out of market, and they were in a different market, they couldn't watch those games. I don't know what that fucking means.
Correct.
You can try to decipher it. I don't understand the law and how that fucking works with all that shit.
So I think I remember hearing about this now. I wasn't sure if it was. I didn't know it tied into the NFL. But go ahead.
Right. There's 2 more things here.
Yep.
The lawsuit also claimed that the league broke antitrust laws by selling its package of Sunday games at an inflated price. But did they? Why didn't you sue the NFL for fucking having $200 fucking seats at football games? How about fucking that?
So
you're suing the NFL Sunday Ticket?
Well, they're trying to have their cake and eat it too.
Well, okay, but I like I said, some of this doesn't make sense to me. The subscribers also say the league restricted competition by offering Sunday Ticket only on a satellite provider. That one makes no fucking sense to me. If I had... So for me, and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't watch every NFL game. We either watch... I watch the Packers. If the Ravens are on TV... I mean, I would pay for it just for her so she could watch every Ravens game. Mm-hmm. But she doesn't care. She does. She loves the Ravens. No, she loves football. But she can watch all the important stuff that comes on Red Zone, right? So you get to see every time they're in the red zone, or if nothing's going on, neither team's in the red zone, then they just bounce around during the game. So you get to see a pretty good chunk of football games on the red zone, okay? Mm-hmm. Not like all 60 minutes, but
you get better than the highlights.
I think personally that is better than actually having NFL Sunday Ticket. NFL Sunday Ticket is and Red Zone. I think it's like $6 extra a month for us.
Yeah, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're not.
Well, they do. They're money gouging. The
Well,
NFL
I was
is
about to say, like they're clearly trying to money gouge, but I know why they're getting sued, and I know why they're gonna lose. They are gonna lose.
No, they already won.
What?
The lawsuit went through. Yeah.
God damn it.
So the one that really fucking jerks my chain is the first one. A jury in the U.S. District Court ordered the NFL to pay more than $4.7 billion in damages Thursday after ruling that the league violated antitrust laws in distributing out-of-premium Sunday afternoon games on a premium subscription service. Here's the thing about that premium subscription service, you fucking idiot fucking people.
Why are you yelling?
It's NBC.
Uh-huh.
NBC. Sue NBC if you got a fucking problem with it. This is the problem with this. There's Sunday Ticket. Come on, man. I get what you're fucking saying, but it's not like they don't offer it. If it's on NBC, you can watch the fucking game.
Hold on.
What the fuck are you talking about?
So I'm just double checking this because I was a little lost. Now I thought I knew what you were talking about. Now I don't. So now I had to go back and double check and make sure. So I'm just looking this over. Why would they be mad at CBS or Fox?
No, they're not. Well, that's again same fucking thing. Oh, this is such bullshit. They show games on CBS and Fox. Why aren't you mad at them?
Correct.
The NFL has an agreement with Fox, CBS, NBC, ESPN. Not anymore. I don't think ESPN. Yeah, they do. ESPN, Prime, Amazon Prime. You don't need the fucking Sunday Ticket anymore.
It's not right. It's not. But the thing is, they're not suing CBS. They're suing NFL because they're the ones that they're manipulating their product, their content.
Are they manipulating their product?
Yes, they're price gouging.
How are they manipulating their product?
Just said,
I don't understand, but I'm just saying. I'm talking to
Why are you
people
yelling?
purchasing Sunday Ticket now.
Uh-huh.
You don't fucking need it.
No, but my saying is that like, if people understood what the fuck they were doing.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that the NFL is price gouging. They've been price gouging for fucking years.
Okay.
Got it. I'm not arguing that point.
Okay.
I'm arguing the point people are fucking stupid for even purchasing a Sunday Ticket.
Oh yeah,
anymore.
1000%
That's
agree.
what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. I get people that do purchase it. You don't get the games if you're a Ravens fan like Heather is, and if she was an avid Ravens fan, I would look into purchasing it or getting it on our cable because I think we can get it on our cable. It'd be Sunday Ticket and it'd be added. It'd be like they do offer it on Spectrum. You just have to pay an extra $15 or $20 or something like that to watch it. So I don't understand the problem. You can pretty much watch every game if you tune into fucking Red Zone. You can pretty much watch every game.
Well, right. Well, the problem is that NFL is being a bunch of fucking price gouging assholes. Is what the problem is. It's not necessarily
Go
the fan.
ahead and sue them. Get rid of Sunday Ticket.
That's probably what's going to happen.
So you can go ahead and sue the NFL, but as Connor said before, you're not hurting the NFL.
I mean, that's
not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's I was gonna say I don't think it's gonna be like, oh, this is the financial blow that's gonna take the NFL away from. No, it's not. But they're not gonna go anywhere. But Yeah, Sunday Ticket might be going some way. It might be going somewhere.
Well, and that's, you really want to hit the NFL where it hurts? Get rid of NFL Sunday Ticket. Shut the fuck up. Because you really don't I'm sorry. You really don't need it. You really don't. I get it, but you don't.
Yeah, no, it's just, it's extra, it's fluff. They don't, they're
Well, again, like I said, the reason the NFL's price gouging is for those people that are fans of other teams that are not in their market.
correct.
So the NFL is playing on the fandom of the people that watch the NFL to get their, that's how they get their money. And people are suckered into it. And I get it. If I was living in Iowa, across the border, I get Bears games. I wouldn't get Packer games.
What's up, Casey is Raw joining us in the chat saying,
But there are other means in which I can get Packer games. And I'm not saying college courses. I would honestly, I could watch Red Zone and I think I'd be happy. Just watching Red Zone, because I wouldn't get frustrated in the middle of a fucking game over something fucking so minuscule as a 25-yard punt. Because that's the coach in me. I would literally lose my shit if I had a guy that averaged 45 yards a punt and only kicked it 25 yards in perfect weather. You're fucking professional. You know how to fucking kick. Stop worrying about what's coming at you. Just kick the fucking ball. That's just me. So I probably could do that, but I don't. We live in a market where my favorite team is on every week. Doesn't matter. My team's on every week.
Unless it's a bye week.
Unless it's a bye week.
Casey was saying earlier in the chat, he said that the Forbidden Door pay-per-view was really good. I will say this, we did talk a little bit about it. We haven't watched it. I was saying that I saw some clips here and there.
Let me ask Casey a question.
Here we go.
Casey, with all due respect, was it because the wrestling was good, or because I can watch WWE with no fucking build and say that was some pretty good wrestling, because wrestling's been really good in WWE so far.
I did hear there was a couple of really good in-ring matchups.
I would have to. Well, okay, Bryan Danielson and fucking Shingo Takagi.
Yep.
Fine. That's probably one match that I would fucking watch on this fucking card.
I don't even know that.
Shit.
I have to go back and look at the card.
The reason I don't care about AEW is they don't. We're in North America. We aren't in fucking Japan, and I think I've said this numerous fucking times.
4 hours?
You want me to give a shit about your fucking product? Start telling me fucking stories like the WWE is right now. This is why Tony Khan is the shittiest fucking booker ever. He has no fucking idea what he is fucking doing. He is fantasy booking an e-fed that he started when he was a fucking teenager, and he's like, I'm a billionaire, why don't I just start a wrestling company so I can watch matches that I can watch every week? Not everybody wants to see fucking Will Ospreay do fucking Riverdance in the middle of the
I beg to
fucking
disagree
ring.
on that one. I'm kidding.
Right now, Will Ospreay is pretty much doing that. That's what he's doing. If you watched him recently, the guy no-sells everything. Like, I've seen him take a clothesline that would probably knock you unconscious just from getting a clothesline, and he gets up and does a couple of fucking moves before he does anything else. Before he finally collapses. Get the fuck out of here. I don't like it when WWE does it, and I sure as shit don't like it when this company does it. So honestly, tell me why it was good. If the wrestling was good, fine. But don't give me some fucking shit that they are telling stories.
He said yes. Yes, the wrestling group, yes. He said WWE does have the better storylines. Yeah, I would agree with that.
I'm gonna argue that WWE has better wrestling right now than AEW.
I haven't watched enough of AEW to make that assessment.
I watched both fucking shows, and I can fucking straight up fucking tell you WWE has better fucking wrestling than AEW right now.
Speaking of which, though, real fast, since we're on the subject, my idol got crushed.
Yes.
My childhood hero got destroyed on SmackDown.
Who's that?
Paul Heyman.
Oh, we'll talk about that. That was props to Paul Heyman, man. That guy'll do anything.
Yeah, he's committed, and you know what? I was thinking about this when I rewatched the clip before getting on here. Was not that I'm trying to when it comes. I mean, actually, to be fair, when it does come to Paul Heyman, I would.
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk too and spit on that thing.
I would. So he did this once before with Brock, and where like he and Brock like almost seemingly weren't on the same page, and he looked very disheveled. And there's something about like the something about the way like he like when he's like unshaved and he just like he's got like the stress in his eyes, like he knows how to really, I don't know how the fuck he did it, whether like he actually cried about something or what the fuck, but man, his fucking performance was like top notch, like top fucking notch.
Well, for the eyes, all you need is an onion or some onion juice. That'll take care of it.
Yeah, whatever he does to get into that, like to do that, like fucking kudos.
We'll get in. I'm gonna get in. This is exactly what I wanted to get into about WWE compared to AEW. We'll get into it though. But go ahead.
Go for it. Might as well go for it now.
No. Go ahead and finish.
No, that was gonna be my big thing. Was that basically just that like it was a very well done performance. It was done in the Garden, so I love how they did try to make the Madison Square Garden shows feel a little bit more, important because of the history with it, which is always appreciated because, Triple H all be about that history.
So there is something to that I want to add to it, and I'm probably in the minority on this. I do like what they did Friday, but there is one thing that I will say right now. I am not a huge proponent of Jacob Fatu. I don't think he is as big as everybody says he is. I mean, he's a big guy. I mean, him coming in was expected. When is it going to happen? I think it would have had a bigger impact. I'm going to say this right fucking now. It would have had a bigger impact if he came when Roman Reigns came back and they turned on Roman Reigns. But they're saving that for Rock so that they can do their match at WrestleMania.
So,
however,
yep.
I just don't buy into. I mean, I
like
it. I like it, but
yeah.
I do not. I don't think he's as.
No, and I understand. I understand.
He's another guy. He's another guy.
I understand that from the way that he's been presented. I completely understand that 1010%. What I'm saying to you is, give him some time. I
don't know. With I will. It's just right now it isn't like it is. It doesn't. Him coming in should have been bigger. Because I've heard all of the story. I have seen him wrestle. I've seen the clips. I've never seen him wrestle weekly, but I have seen clips of him. He's really good.
He's like a mini Umaga, basically.
Yes.
Yes, he's
with more athleticism.
With more athleticism.
Yes.
However, I just don't. I'm not going to say he's not going to be big. I just don't think he is. Everybody wants Roman back.
Well,
let's see what happens when Roman Reigns.
I was about to say, like, there's been, I'll be the first one to admit, there have been plenty of times where I'm like, that's not going to get over, and it fucking got over. It's why I am a big fan of JBL. That should not have worked.
Never.
What shouldn't have worked? I'm so sorry.
JBL on paper shouldn't have worked.
JBL.
And so I thought, this is gonna be a nothing, like, this, and he ended up being, in my opinion, he became a pretty good world champion. I wouldn't say the best, but I think he definitely filled his role very well as being seen as a, main event star in a time where they needed a main event heel. So my point being, though, is that he was able to make that transition, and other people were able to make that transition. I'm like, I can't quite see them as, top Sheamus is another one. For a long time, I just could not see Sheamus as a top guy. could not,
Miro.
and it took a while, but he got there.
I've never seen Miro as a...
And again, this is just subjective opinion.
Us seeing them as top guys. I'm
Right.
saying how they got over.
Yep.
I'm not saying Miro didn't get over, but
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
And I think Jacob, again, I'm guessing here, and I'm guessing based off of just, between the internal the rumor mill and whatever the fuck you want to say, but I could very easily see, like, you talk about like the next big star to come out of the bloodline. It's not Solo. It's him.
He would go over. So
I think he is the bigger star. That I will agree with.
Like that's the way I would pitch it to you.
I honestly think that Tama Tonga is a bigger star than all three of them.
I could, you know what? I could see that.
Tama Tonga in New Japan is the only reason I gave a shit about the fucking Bullet Club. It wasn't fucking Kenny Omega. It was him. The guy has charisma that I just love the way he works.
Yeah.
Everything he does has impact. That's every time I've seen him wrestle, even in his matches in WWE, and he's had a couple of them, they have impact. Everything he does. It could look like flippy shit, but it has that little oomph behind it.
With his moves, he incorporates what I call the Samoan snap. With every move, it's that fluidity that is just like instantaneously move is done.
Right.
I call that the Samoan snap because I've only ever seen Samoans or Randy Orton able to do it.
We sit here and we talk about the Anoa'i family all the time.
Hey, sorry, real quick, Heather. I'm just gonna say, Heather, I'm gonna send you something in Twitter real quick. Just reply when you can. Go ahead, JP. Go ahead.
Oh, Haku.
Nobody fucks with Haku. Not even Undertaker.
No.
/ Meng, whatever the fuck you want to call him. I mean, come on, man. Tonga Loa is his actual son, but I will say this right now about fucking Tama Tonga. He is exactly what Haku would have been if he was his height and weight.
I don't know. Haku had a more sturdier build.
Yeah. Yes, but I'm just saying a thinner version of Haku.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, yes, yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I think like, I'll put it this way, like, from what I've seen of everybody, and I haven't seen a lot of all of these people. I've seen some, but not everything. I've seen Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa together. I do believe that out of the two, Tama Tonga is he's got the more, like, let's put him on a poster, kind of like good looks, kind of like he's like the Randy Orton of the group, right? Where like he's the good looking guy that could really get the hell over. Not that Tonga Loa is like ugly by any stretch of the imagination, but I could see him being a breakout star from this new bloodline. But I think Solo, I feel bad because I could tell that they were trying to obviously get Solo to this certain position. It's a great spot to be in, but it's no. And I think Jacob fought too, and I know JP, you have your skeptical, but which is understandable. I understand that. But I think that once Jacob gets away from this, he's going to get more over with the fans, and he's going to get over pretty damn quick. Maybe not as a babyface, maybe as the next heel, but like the only thing I worry about is not that he's terrible on the mic, but I do worry about like how that's going to play into things. So for his role right now, my eyes are all glued on him.
Right. It was pretty good. Let's get back to the Paul Heyman thing, because that's where the story needed to go.
Yeah.
I think that what happened. So what I think is going to happen with that is, I personally think Paul Heyman's going to step away. I think that it might be next week, but I don't think that's might be too soon with what they did to Paul Heyman. You might see Roman return at SummerSlam.
Well, this is where the speculation starts to come in, right?
Yeah. A match where Solo Sikoa is wrestling Cody.
So there's a bunch of ways. There's a bunch of ways this could go. So you could do I mean, God, you could do. Let me think for a second here. You could do, like you said, Cody and Solo 1-on-1. You could have Roman show up as soon as Money in the Bank, because he beat up his wise man. Now Heyman, as much as Heyman, you know, childhood hero, I worship, I idolize him. This could be the final like hoorah for him on camera. I wouldn't mind him back, but I wouldn't be like completely devastated if he was completely removed from the storyline at this point in time. But I think it'd be a great asset to add more depth to the storyline and whatnot. But Roman could come back as soon as the pay-per-view. We could have a lot of things. I think there's gonna be a lot going on in that 6-man tag. I think there's gonna be a lot going on in that 6-man tag, especially if, and I'm guessing here, Solo's not wrestling because it's a 6-man tag, but
He is.
right. So I'm gonna assume Solo's not wrestling in this one though. If they're gonna do Solo versus Cody at SummerSlam, which honestly, I don't know. I feel like I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Cody and Solo at SummerSlam. I just don't, because we all know. Like, yes, it would give Solo an opportunity to, you know, showcase his skills on a bigger stage, but like,
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't want to see it.
It'd be a bit of a mess, but yeah.
Was it who?
I was
What?
fucking with this Jacob in the chat. Sorry. Go ahead. I like what they're doing with the Bloodline is another chapter in the story.
Yep.
But it Jesus Christ, I already said it.
What? There's all.
Don't fuck- Go ahead. I like what they're doing with the Bloodline thing. And it's so what's incorporated in that is good wrestling. And this is why WWE, they aren't, even the 3-hour shows, they don't feel like 3 hours anymore. I mean, there are times where it's just like I watch what I want when it comes to Raw.
Yep. Yes.
Just saying. So
It's
go ahead.
there's different directions they could go. They could pitch the idea, you know, kind of like tease the waters of Solo versus Cody at SummerSlam, but then at the end of the day have that twist of, oh no, you don't get me until the big one. So now you got to go through them individually.
Yeah, I mean, the beautiful part about this is that you have now so many people. It's what works so well about the Von Erich rivalry in Dallas was that you have 3 Von Erichs, and now you have a multitude of, like, you can do 6-man tags, you can do solos, you can do tags, you can do all these different, you know, crisscross applesauce, and you have like fresh matches for you know, days on end. Same thing here. Like, we didn't even talk about the possibility of the Usos versus the Tongans, right? We know that's going to happen at some point. Where's it going to happen? Could they possibly hold them off till WrestleMania? Yes, they fucking could. There's a very likelihood they could pull that off. So there's just,
especially with Jimmy Jimmy being injured right now.
so there's a lot of different ways different things could go. Excuse me. So it's just smart booking.
Good. It was the best thing that happened in wrestling this week.
Mm-hmm. Now, let's talk about the fun thing that happened in the world this week, which was, oh, by the way, real quick, Casey is Raw. If you're still hopefully joining us in the chat, I got a bone to pick with you because I saw that you were reviewing the Who Killed WCW series, and I just saw one of your like thumbnails that said like something like, you know, fuck off Jamie Kellner, who was in charge of Turner Broadcasting, and basically said no, you know, no to the new deal by Bischoff. But the thing is I don't know if this was discussed in the show, so my apologies if this has been addressed since then, Casey, but there's a reason Jamie Kellner said no to that, is because, fun fact, in Eric Bischoff's new joint venture that he was doing to buy WCW in 2001, do the Big Bang and everything like that. The company then owned the rights to hold on to that TV slot even if WCW went under. So, for example, let's say, okay, we signed a 3-year deal, right? And they keep the Monday night at 8 p.m. time slot, a very coveted primetime time slot.
Yep.
So, if let's say WCW failed after, awesome. If WCW failed and crashed within a month, the company could still put on whatever programming they wanted to program on that Monday night slot at 8 o'clock. So, well, yes. Anyways, no, I did not, Lewis. I did not.
I did not watch. I heard it was Pat Sajak's last one.
Yep. It was last.
I haven't.
Couple weeks ago.
I haven't watched that.
Man hasn't aged in 50 years. But like on one hand, yes, it was the part of the deal that killed it, and that was the big part. They were like, we're not going to give you the TV. Well, then yeah, it kind of destroyed them.
It's between that and the fact that TBS would hold on to the library. He'd only be getting the show, none of the media library.
Yeah, which is baloney. But yeah, he says the Jamie. Well, I think he was the final nail in the coffin. I'll say that much. I think in terms of who killed WCW, it was ultimately Turner. More specifically, the AOL Time Warner merger that did it, because they just didn't want to. That just took the already we don't feel great about this product to pushing it out the fucking door. But the only thing I was going to say was that it wasn't all Kellner's fault, although he did contribute to it. But again, that whole part of if WCW goes under in a month, we still have that. We still own the TV slot. It's who in. And I'm not saying this to you, Casey. I know I'm not calling you guys, but who in their right fucking mind would sign that deal? I know I wouldn't. I can't completely blame Jamie Kellner on that one for being come on.
I really want to watch that.
You should. It's pretty good.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
I was alive and watching wrestling when it happened. I've heard almost every version, and I've heard the version that you guys are talking about right now. That was a thing back in the day. I don't know how much of what they're saying is true. They're trying to pin the death of WCW on Eric Bischoff, Hulk Hogan.
No.
Hold on. Hulk Hogan, Vince Russo, but the one that they really need to pin it on is Ted Turner.
So
Ted Turner.
Yep.
Sorry. Ted Turner ultimately was responsible for the death of WCW.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to say. Here's what I'm going to say a couple things about that statement. So first off, the series, I actually appreciate the series because the thing that it does is that and I'll be very clear about this, I'm a big fan of Dark Side of the Ring. I've mentioned this before. I like the way it's produced. I think the presentation is fantastic. And I think they do their best to be as unbiased as humanly possible when it comes to the subjects they discuss. They really did the same thing with this one, with Who Killed WCW, where you could tell they were trying to they were spotlighting certain major points and issues that they had that like you said, Bischoff killed it, Russo killed it, this killed it, that killed it, and they as much as they possibly could without people being fucking Kevin Sullivan was part of this goddamn show. They got a lot of people. The part that really surprised me the most, like I said, was the fact that they got fucking a lot of former Turner execs who could speak to, maybe even if we disagreed with it, the mindset that the Turner Broadcasting Company had towards WCW. And Bischoff, go ahead, yep.
When you say that the Turner Broadcasting executives, I'm not talking about Ted Turner. He's the top guy.
They brought in Ted Turner's son, though.
The
Again.
The executives, they did that just because they wanted to pin it. They
No,
wanted
they
to.
were pinning it on themselves. They weren't.
So
pinning it-
so. Well, they didn't kill it. They didn't want it.
Right.
That's what he's saying. That's what.
Right. So they didn't kill it. Ted Turner ultimately buying WCW killed it because he wanted to compete with Vince McMahon over wrestling.
I think that's a little unfair, though.
How is it a little unfair?
Oh,
He actually purchased WCW to compete. He said it himself.
I'm getting there. So what I was gonna say was, yes,
Well,
if you
can
want
I
to,
ask this?
okay,
Hold on.
Yep.
Casey said, I'd love to be on this call.
bring him on.
I said, I will ask. It's up to you guys, not just me.
Bring him on.
We would have to switch to the other.
Yeah, we can do
channel.
that. It's easy enough.
Okay.
Casey's
go
good people.
ahead. I don't know if Casey, if you have the link to our.
He's in the other one.
Okay, so join us on that call. We're
Just switched over real quick. So Casey, if you can hear me, just switch over to it is the free range goats thing on our Discord.
So
You'll see us.
These are the kinds of things that I wanted this to. I forgot about this WCW thing.
Yeah.
I will argue that Ted Turner killed it.
Okay, so well,
number one,
Yep.
he just fed it money and said, "Here, take it." And he had, when he purchased it, it was coming off of the Bill Watts. Or Bill Watts wasn't, or was
yes.
Bill Watts?
No, you're right. It was. Yep.
They
No.
were coming
Watts
off of
was.
the Bill Watts. So he was still there when Ted Turner bought it.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Watts was a very high disciplinarian. Like when he fined his wrestlers, he fined his wrestlers.
Yeah, he was. He wasn't the right. He wasn't right fit for corporate.
Yeah.
So he went to kayfabe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he the thing was him, and then I can't blame him because Eric Bischoff worked for AWA. Eric Bischoff had an idea of what he wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that, and again, Ted Turner hired Eric Bischoff.
Okay.
Right?
Yep. So here's my main.
I will say then this is I'll shut up here in a second, okay? Sorry, because it just popped in my head. I will not say that Eric Bischoff did not help in killing WCW because he lost track of what his job was, and I think I've said this.
Yes.
But I personally don't blame him wholeheartedly because he got involved in the storyline with the NWO. Said, how cool would it be if the boss was actually behind NWO, which is a great concept, right?
Mm-hmm.
That Vince tried to emulate with the Ministry of Darkness.
It was me, Austin. It was me all along. That was Vince trying to copy what Eric Bischoff was doing. I think Eric Bischoff did it better, but a lot of the TNT or Turner people did not want wrestling, so they just didn't care. So,
and then they started getting those fucking concerned parent phone calls and standards and practices. And
practices. And get the fuck out of here. Okay.
So,
yeah, I get it.
So when I say that it's a little unfair, what I mean by that is that was a turning point in WCW's history, obviously, right? So you had Jim Crockett Promotions and then the transition and blah 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 blah.
Well, Jim Crockett again is another guy. He ultimately killed it. I was about to say that was my next point. It's like, well, really, if you want to say that, then you could technically say that Jim Crockett Sr. was the death of WC. Also, like in terms of like, there's several factors. It just depends on where on the range you want to point. I wouldn't say Jim Crockett. Jim Crockett Sr. was more about.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Not senior. Excuse me. Junior. Yeah, junior. Yes.
I think if you're going to go that route, and ultimately when Jim Crockett
yes, Casey,
WWF from Bill Watts,
yes,
that was when WCW Turner's like, we don't fucking. I mean, I'm okay with 2 hours on TBS on Sundays, but why are we giving up what we actually want to be on Mondays? I mean, you know.
So
Go ahead.
the thing I was gonna say was that yes, you could look at either Jim Crockett Jr. or Ted Turner and say they caused the death of WCW. There's literally a few moments in the history books that you could point to and say that was the cause, like the start, that was the beginning of the end of WCW. There's a bajillion different points in time, but the only reason I argue towards the latter end of it is that WCW fucking crushed it for 83 weeks. They were the number one in the industry. And even then, Turner or Time Warner didn't want them around. And that's just baffling to me. And you think about like all the people that did everything wrong to WCW, right? That did everything to like push it down, whether intentional or otherwise. Everybody at one point in time legitimately tried to do something with it. They tried to make it successful. Who out of all the people that you look at, or all the accusers of killing WCW, is the one factor that never tried to make WCW better? It was fucking Turner Time Warner in that merger. Because by the time that Turner bought the company and said, have a run with it, by the time it hit the heights that it did with Bischoff, he already lost a majority of his power.
Right.
So at that point, he was already out of the game. Right.
Hey, Connor, I'll be right back. Hold on.
Okay. Gonna get Casey is raw. Get him talking all night long. Who the fuck is this person? Sorry, some rando just followed me on Twitter. Y. Prozinski. What the fuck? Man, I thought Twitter was weird before it turned into X, and now it's just even fucking weirder. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying this really deep wrestling talk. We will talk a little bit, I'm sure, about the presidential debate. We're trying to loop Casey in this conversation about who killed WCW. Let us know who you guys thought killed WCW. Was it Russo? Was it Bischoff? Was it Mr. Plum in the kitchen with the sink? No, we wouldn't do it with the sink. How the fuck do we do it with the sink? Maybe just like a wrench? I meant to say wrench. It's always the wrench. Kills with a sink. That'd actually be fucking funny and impressive. I will say that. Heard Forbidden Door was pretty solid. All right, there we got JP and hello back.
Kinda. I'm here, but
We're not.
Rep. What was his Discord name?
Alpha's
He's
like
in the other one.
Alpha's like, I'd rather this over the debate. Okay, do I need to relocate?
No, we're good. We'll get him in here.
Okay. We'll catch you, goddammit, Casey. Fucking Ghostbusters. Da-na-na-na-na-na. I mean, I don't really have too much to say about it, Alpha. It'll hopefully just be a rip the Band-Aid off situation, but yeah. But yeah, no, we'll talk. We'll stay on the wrestling for a little bit longer. Also, Dr. Disrespect has been well, he's done. He's fucking out of here. He's canceled. He's out of here. He's kaputskis. Those who don't know, Dr. Disrespect, who is a pretty well-known streamer, or was, a bunch of accusations of inappropriate conversations with minors, which led to his company kicking him out. He's permanently banned on Twitch. YouTube's, I think, demonetized him at this point, so he's pretty much done, folks. He's kaputskis. Hence why I put Heyman and him under Bad Week in the thumbnail. I put quotation marks because obviously Heyman's was more staged, and Dr. Disrespect is, well, he's fucking his name. So there's that.
Check your DM there, Casey.
Was what?
I sent him the invite link to this Discord. He's in the other channel, the one that was created for gaming. There he is.
There he is.
Here, give me a second. Let me switch over.
The man, the myth, the legend. He is Raw.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
What up? How goes it, good sir?
Oh, good.
Oh, nothing much. Yeah, I'm like, I was getting shit on a little bit about, talk about AEW a little bit. I mean, I think the wrestling is way better on AEW side, but
Oh, okay, Casey.
Oh,
We're gonna go
God.
there.
That didn't
Right
that didn't take long.
No reason.
Sorry, I was in with Wendy. Go ahead, but go ahead. Finish what you're
But
saying,
I
and
do
I'm gonna call
think-
bullshit.
I do think WWE has the way better product right now. Like,
Well, of course, that's a fact.
I'm
how-
not gonna
So how can you? So my question to you is, and this isn't me trying to be a dick. I really want to get into why people think AEW has the better wrestling. What makes it so much better?
I have a thought process behind it.
I think it's more athletic. I mean, yeah, I know a lot of people
Okay.
hate stuff.
And I disagree with that. You could argue, and again, Triple H is just now taking over, and right now he's trying to weed out who he actually wants.
Yeah,
I can argue. I will look at an AEW show, and WWE puts out a better show.
So
The wrestling is better. They give a better 5-minute match than AEW does. AEW tries to give me 25-minute match, and I just sit there and watch, and I'm like, this match is still fucking going on. Where's the fucking story?
So-
Here's why I say this. This isn't fucking Japan.
mhm.
We're in North America.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. If I wanted to watch fucking wrestling, I'd go sit in a high school gymnasium and watch fucking wrestling all fucking day, and I have, and I do. If I wanted
A
to,
little
just
awkward for
watch
who else is there,
wrestling,
but all right.
I would. I'm being legitimate here. If I wanted to watch just wrestling, I would do that.
So
Okay.
I have a couple
If I
of
want to watch something where wrestling is good and it's incorporated, I'm watching WWE all fucking day.
so
I don't want to watch a guy do the fucking river dance every other fucking match on AEW, which they do.
so I think
I know you're knocking Lil Osprey with that. Like, I can understand. Tex and AJ, they say the flippy floppy wrestlers. Like, I can understand.
I was gonna get to that
wanna say
part.
this. I don't hate flippy floppy wrestlers. When everybody fucking does it, it loses its
value.
value.
Well, I'm gonna say that AEW doesn't really have any real big monsters like WWE has. Like,
And they should. If
Yeah,
you
they-
want
they
to,
should.
They should. You can't. This is why AEW will never get any bigger than what it is, because they don't want the monsters on their TV screen, because it takes away from what they really want to do.
Okay, so the first things first, as far as the whole, AEW and WWE have, AEW has better wrestling. That is, Jesus Christ, I can't even get a fucking word out.
Go ahead. I still don't see how it is.
I'm
They're both the same.
if you let me, if I got my answer out, I'm semi agreeing with you.
Go ahead.
It's subjective. The concept and the
Right.
and so wrestling has now become such a broad definition of what and what entails what wrestling is. I know that there is the deathmatch hardcore wrestling out there where you like the fucking Nick Cage shit where they're breaking people over. Like, one of my best friends in the world, he was hardcore into that stuff, and I can't. It's not my thing. I'm not saying anybody shouldn't like it, but it's not my cup of tea. Don't enjoy that style. It's just not my thing. Which is fine. That's the case. So when someone says, "Oh, so and so has the better wrestling," what I think, and Casey, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, what I think you're referring to is bell to bell, not necessarily the build going into it, but from what you are getting in the ring for just that moment from when the bell rings, the segment itself.
yes. Exactly.
So
and leaning more towards the athleticism towards it.
I want you to name me a match on a
Mhm.
weekly fucking show in
Mhm.
AEW that was better than anything WWE has done on a weekly show. And I've seen, name me two matches or one match on AEW that's
Why?
been better than I will say this. The women's wrestling is terrible in AEW.
What's up, Aru Shinchu?
The women's wrestling in WWE is terrible too.
WWE's better. I would argue NXT is probably the best women's wrestling on TV today.
I probably agree with that.
I'll give you the NXT one. I think WWE is working out some kinks with their women's division, but yeah, NXT is the best one. I'll give you that one.
See, this is what I always say. Like, honestly, the Attitude Era / the Ruthless Aggression Era kind of ruined my view on women wrestling because, I mean, yes, they're hot, okay?
Okay, so yes, go ahead, finish.
But there's only too many certain the women wrestlers that is actually badass. I mean, like Asuka was badass. Even Shayna Baszler, I think, was badass. And like, but other women that comes in, like, I mean, gosh, like Maxine Dupree, she doesn't know how to wrestle at all, but she's just a pretty face.
Who?
Maxine Dupree.
I don't think they use her. I think they use her more as a valet now.
For now.
She's had a couple of matches, but she's not really a featured wrestler anymore.
Hold that thought process for a second. I'm gonna go back to the WCW thing though, where we started. I know we were talking like Forbidden Door and AEW and all that stuff, but with WCW, so Casey, and I apologize, I didn't get to catch the stream. Who do you think killed it?
I'm gonna have to agree with my man AJ. I think it was not only is the Jamie Kellner, it's the Turner executives.
Yep. Yeah, I'm pretty much right there with you.
I would say yes, there was big mistakes, and everyone likes to dump on Vince Russo. Did he help with the downfall? Yes, he did. But it was already going down the toilet. Vince Russo is just the one who just pulled the lever, you know?
Russo has admitted publicly several times that he was throwing things against the wall to see what stuck. And the thing is that like, and there's a lot of like just different factoids and stuff that like I think, or different like perceptions and perspectives that I don't think are really put into or like drilled in much into people's heads. More, you know, surprisingly, to be honest with you, because I thought it would be after all the documentaries that have been made about this, but like,
yeah,
a big factor of killing WCW was Thunder. Like, yes, nobody really talks about that too much because when you think about back then, this was before SmackDown was around, right? So you only had Raw and you only had Nitro. I mean, yeah, you had some weekend shit, but like those were like the two big like fucking behemoths. And the concept of Thunder was like, well, fuck, that just fucks everything up. And then little other caveat, they didn't get a budget for it.
Only that, none of the big time wrestlers want to be on Thunder. They only want to be on Monday. You know.
Yep. Well,
they always had excuses why they didn't want to go to Thunder. Like, oh, I stubbed my toe. I can't be on Thunder this weekend.
Good old Gorilla Strong. He's saying that you killed WCW Casey, which, I mean, listen, you do have a bit of a track record. I'm not going to lie. And he does bring up a fair point here. I mean,
well, that's the first murder I've done. I mean, that's the jewel of my murder.
He admitted it. Motherfucker, you killed WCW. I wanted back the Nitro girls. All right. But no, like Thunder was a major part of the downfall of WCW because now you had, you know, the primary flagship show. You had all the talent who you took from WWF came because of the lightweight schedule. So now you're going back to that again, and then it's overexposure. It's basically, yeah, the bottom line is overexposure. And so now you're going to have to figure out how to write 2 shows, because again, folks, SmackDown was not around yet.
No.
Thunder was first. So that's a major killer, and that came straight from like, hey, let's get TBS some good viewerships. It's like, fuck you, as they flush it down the toilet, I think a big one was there's a story that Bischoff told about how he like walked into a corporate, like a boardroom, and he was told by like 5 different people how WCW was going to be run, and they didn't even know what day of the week Nitro aired. It's like,
granted, do you think those Turner executives even care I mean,
no.
They're like, oh, what not day is that show's on and what time? They probably think it came on at like 3 in the morning, probably.
They didn't understand the appeal, right? And the thing is that the whole reason WCW stayed and became a thing from Jim Crockett Promotions was because it aired on TBS, which was a cornerstone program that eventually built up what eventually became Turner Broadcasting Network. So like when Turner was starting like cable, right?
Yeah.
Wrestling was like Jim Crockett Promotions was one of those flagship shows that really like helped carry the cable networks. And so because of that, Ted had an undying loyalty to Jim Crockett. And so when it went under, he bought it, WCW, Hallelujah, and, after the races we went. But then it got to the point where it's like, okay, like they have to keep it around because it's making a shit ton of money. And it's just like, it's a constant fucking uphill battle, Ted, once the merger happened, Ted lost a shit ton more power than a lot of people realized. And
yeah, that blank check that was being given to Eric every month disappeared as well.
Did
AOL also want to take it off the network, or is it just the Turner executives?
Well, it's been known that Turner, not Turner himself,
yeah,
but the executives wanted nothing. The people that I'm not talking about Schiller or any of those guys. I'm talking about the people right under Ted Turner. They never wanted him to do it in the first place, because when they didn't want that on their TV.
For the record, I think Ted Turner should go in the Hall of Fame. Just throwing that out there.
I 100% agree with you.
Yeah,
Ted Turner tried to save the NWA/WCW.
Yep.
He tried. Jim Herd actually, really, I mean, if you really want to go down the rabbit hole, Jim Herd really hurt WCW.
Well, no shit.
Oh, yeah.
Who was the staple of WCW when Jim Herd? Like, Ric Flair.
Yep.
Cut your hair and turn yourself Spartacus.
Yeah, it was so bad.
Man, can you fucking imagine? Can you imagine if that happened? And yes, Gorilla Strong Kimberly Page killed WCW.
Hold on, why would they even want to do that? I mean, the Nature Boy was still over. Like, they're like,
because people didn't
Jim
know
Herd,
shit.
He didn't know anything. He wasn't a wrestling guy. I think he was a sports guy. He was a football guy. He was a baseball guy.
He didn't
know shit. He didn't know shit about fucking what WCW was. If Jim Herd wouldn't have taken over, I think personally there might have been a chance. But I really think Jim Crockett Jr. buying UWF really fucking hurt. If he hadn't to have done that, I think personally he would have been fine. That's real. I mean, Jim Cornette even said as much. If you listen to him, he said this as much. If Jim Crockett Jr. did not buy UWF, it might have helped.
Well, just think if WCW never went down, we will never have TNA.
We wouldn't have to worry about fucking watching flippy shit all the fucking time.
I don't know about that.
we probably would have Ring of Honor, but TNA and AEW wouldn't be a thing right
Well,
now.
it's interesting because there was it was one of the early documentaries of TNA when they were like pumping out DVDs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was I want to say it was Jeff Jarrett. I can't imagine anybody else who the fuck it would be. It might have been Jerry though. And they were talking about like the origins of TNA wrestling, and one of them or someone close to them said like everyone thinks we were trying to become the new WWE. It's like no, we were trying to recapture the lost WCW fans. And they said we were very surprised that people thought like, oh, there's wrestling fans, and some people are like both and stuff. Like, no, there were a lot of hardcore WCW fans.
Yeah.
And they were trying to recapture those fans.
Both Tex and AJ, they're huge WCW fans.
I like the WCW. I did not like WCW in 1999/2000.
Oh no.
I personally, you want me to be straight up fucking honest with you? I hated the Attitude Era. The only thing that I really gave a fuck about in the Attitude Era was Stone Cold Steve Austin. That was it. I didn't care about anything.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Well, Triple H too. Triple H towards that time was getting big, and I've always been a huge fan of his. If there is one wrestler that I could say I was a fan of, is Triple H.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I just loved his demeanor.
I was going to say that blasphemy saying that you hate the Attitude Era. I mean, dude, we got the New Age Outlaws. We had
I didn't like everything. Okay, Degeneration X was funny, but it kind of got fucking boring.
Yeah, 2000. It was definitely time.
So once Shawn Michaels left, in the first few months of the Degeneration X, like after WrestleMania 15, I didn't give a fuck about the Degeneration X, or because it went away because Triple H turned on everybody. Because Triple H needed to evolve and get away from it. Personally, the only reason they came back to it, it's the nostalgia. It is all they did. I didn't hate the New Age Outlaws. Everybody knows how I feel about tag team wrestling. I think tag team wrestling is only there to create feuds. That's all it should be used for, and I stand by that till the day I fucking die. I am not a huge fan of having. I don't like FTR. I can't. I appreciate them because they can wrestle, but as a tag team, I don't care.
I think
what's their story? Here's why this is why I don't like them. They should have broken up a long fucking time ago. It's there. The writing is on the fucking wall. Why do you think Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty was so fucking big? That when Shawn Michaels, that was an iconic fucking moment when that fucking happened.
Yes.
It's an underrated iconic moment. Because nobody ever thought. They were the Rock and Roll Express of WWE. And they were very comparable. Rock and Roll Express, better. They even broke up. And nobody ever thought they would break up. When Ricky Morton turned on Robert Gibson. Rock and Roll Express, to me, is one of those teams that I never thought would broke up. Because back then, at that time, I loved them. Them and the Midnight Express, fucking great feud, right? The last great tag team wrestling feud was those two teams. But you look at FTR, the writing is on the wall. They should have broke up a long time ago.
Oh God, yeah.
One should have turned on the other. I'm not saying they couldn't come back together, but come on.
I don't think neither of them could be a successful solo act.
But does everybody have to be a world champion?
Well, I didn't say that. I'm just saying.
I think honestly, both of them. I think I could see them having a feud over a mid card title.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. Why not?
I don't know.
I'm not saying they have to be a world champion. Not everybody turns out to be Shawn Michaels, right?
It's very rare.
I'm afraid if those two break up, there'll be two Marty Jannetty. Like,
but again, Marty Jannetty was in fucking mid card title feuds.
Yeah, but
I think he may have won the Intercontinental title at one point.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, I mean, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing. Okay, so you really want me to care about two guys? You really want me to care about a team? Have them break up and then find their way back to each other. That's fine with me.
They did it with Christian and Edge.
But you can't keep them together just because, oh my God, they're best friends and we all know this. And Edge and Christian, if AEW so fucked that shit up beyond reason, because them two just we just want to have fun now. Get the fuck out of here. You lost one of your biggest stars, and I'm not a CM Punk fan in the fucking least. I can't stand the guy. I think he fucked over fans. I think he uses the excuse that WWE did this to me and fuck the fans. He told the fans to go fuck themselves. Right? So I don't care. So, but, and I've said this today to somebody, Jack Perry or CM Punk? Who are you taking?
CM Punk. Because I know the devil I'm working with.
If I want to make this just tells me Tony Khan does not want to make fucking money doing this. And his dad's got to be sitting there. I have the dumbest fucking kid on the face of the fucking earth.
Well, I was going to get to that because I that was a further rant way down the road. But yeah,
I raised a literal fucking moron.
He's not in this for profit.
I think they had to get rid of CM Punk though. Like,
did they?
Look, yeah, I mean the guy already had a couple fights. I mean,
who started the fights, Casey?
Well, CM Punk. Well, go back all the way back where with the.
You mean when Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks marched into CM Punk's dressing room?
I'll be fair and say I think there's fault on all sides. I'm not gonna lie.
I disagree with you.
Like I think there's no innocent party.
So CM Punk says something at a press conference.
That was stupid. That was extremely
That's fine.
fucking stupid.
I don't disagree with that.
Oh,
the three fucking morons that decided, oh, we're big and tough. We're EVPs. We're going to fucking go in. We're going to knock on his door. We're going to kick that door open, and we're going to tell him how it is.
To be
he wanted the fuck out of there then. Because he knew that this company is a fucking joke. AEW is a fucking joke. And anybody that's going to say they're not is a fucking moron. If you're in the wrestling business and you're not in it to make money, why in the fuck are you doing it?
Well, I think Connor can answer that question.
That's my question. And Connor, if you can fucking answer it, have at it.
No, it's just I actually agree with your bottom line. It's just how you got there was just a wild ride. No, but I do agree because like, oh boy, I don't even know how the fuck we got to this part of the conversation, but
Those days, yeah.
that was fucking 20 seconds ago. What am I, a supercomputer? the whole punk thing and AEW thing and just AEW in general, I'll be very honest. Is AEW doing great, awesome, cool things on a big scale? Yes. Am I happy they are having success? Yes. Am I happy that they're getting a platform for performers and like a different audience? Absolutely. Competition, regardless of levels or ways you want to look at it, another place for wrestlers and talent to work is a fucking thumbs up in my opinion. Same thing with TNA. Even Ring of Honor, even though what Ring of Honor is not anywhere remotely close to what it used to be, but I'm happy it's around. That being said, I don't know genuinely what their long-term plans are from purely a business perspective. It's a little weird. It's a little confusing. I do get a lot of vibes just outside of the CM Punk thing in and of itself. But in general, the vibes of, hey guys, let's have a good time. Let's do this. Let's have a great, oh man, let's go for 5 stars. Like, what do we do at the gate? The crowds, there's not like a 5. Oh, it's gonna be a 5-star classic. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You can. Well, I'm gonna get to that because there's something that Tony Khan actually did an interview and he said these things. But go ahead, Connor. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think I actually agree with what Alpha says in the chat. Is that I think that CM Punk, while he's an acquired taste. I'll give him that because I'm very back and forth with how I felt about him. I was a huge fan of him before, kind of soured on him with the way he left, and then like the AEW thing is just kind of a mess. But like, I think Punk has a different mindset now and a different way of wanting to do things, and I think he kind of called them out on the bullshit of all this all this crap that was going on. It's like, what the fuck what are we doing here? And he explained so in the Ariel Helwani podcast he did, which if you haven't listened to it, it's good stuff, and it clears up kind of a lot of his side of the story of things as much as possible. And he
which AEW kind of proved was true in every sense of what he fucking said, because of showing the security footage, which was just that was the nip in the coffin.
That was so dumb. That was so dumb. That was just to get people to tune in. And I watched it, and I'm like sitting there. I'm like,
and it's moves.
Anybody that thinks that fucking Jack Perry didn't say something fucking stupid to CM Punk is a fucking idiot.
And
why would CM Punk go at him just to go at him?
And if that's not proof right there of like the mindset that they have, that right there is proof of the mindset that they have.
I mean, well, look how long it took for them to even bring Jack Perry back. Like, he was gone for like
Tony Khan.
Tony
Khan, he's trying to tell the fans, I'm gonna punish him for a little bit.
Yeah.
This motherfucker is now the TNT champion. Tony Khan thinks that fucking Jack Perry is one of the most over superstars in fucking wrestling today. Anybody that thinks that guy is any fucking good is a fucking idiot.
By the way,
the guy, although he does some things right, he is fucking horrible. He is fucking horrible at trying to tell me a fucking story. You want me to give a fucking shit about a fucking wrestler? MJF is really the only one that I give 2 shits about on AEW. He can try, at least he tries to tell me a story.
Real quick side note, I just want to also say that despite the fact that AEW taking shots at WWE or stuff like that or Punk or whatever, like, for the record, all the big companies have done this too, so don't look down upon them for that too. WWE did it. WWE's done it with WCW. Obviously, WCW's done it with WWE. TNA's done it with WWE. So it's not the first time it's happened. So I don't look down upon them for that. But just
I can see if WWE says something about TNA because they have
worked
together.
Oh yeah.
However, and that's just to build a storyline, and I'm all for it.
Well, now it is.
Yes, and that's fine. But again, let's keep in mind that was on NXT. Now, Raw says something.
No, I meant back in 06 or 05.
But so I just want to read. This is a quote from Tony Khan, who was on the Wrestling Observer News for FW. I don't, and this is from No DQ.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy Lambert had this quote, so he probably listened to the show.
Before you say the quote real quick, JP, I do want to mention too, I've noticed by listening to more of Jim Cornette, I can hear so much of the two of you in the same voice and the antics.
But it's the same. I sit there and I look at it and it's the same. I have the same thoughts this guy does.
But
now there are certain things that I disagree with Jim Cornette on, and
but
Heather knows this, and it's not just politics.
It's funny. I start doing this. I've noticed I've started to do the same thing with Bischoff. I'm starting to lean towards a lot of his.
But Bischoff's
mindsets.
looking at it now. He's not looking at it as a wrestling executive. You have to keep in mind what that is all about. He's
Correct.
looking at it from the aspect of an actual TV executive.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which makes more sense.
Right. To an extent. To an extent.
Yes, I mean he does do the. I wouldn't do that, but I don't. But he is telling you, if you want me to give a shit about your viewership, I would do this. I would prefer if you did this.
Mm-hmm.
That's if I was a TV executive and I was a wrestling fan. It's exactly what I'd tell fucking Tony Khan.
You know what? I got a theory. What's going on with Tony Khan?
Eric Bischoff is not going to work for AEW.
Man,
I know where you're going with
Tony,
this.
I'm telling you, Tony, if you're listening to me, just give me the keys to Ring of Honor. Just give me the keys to Ring of Honor. Give me 2 years, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's never going to happen, Connor. I know you keep saying that, but
Well, fine. That's why I'm starting my own indie fed anyway.
but
This dude looks like a fucking raccoon that's been high on cocaine since
he
1973.
It is the glasses that he's wearing. But so Tony Khan discussed the company's television viewership numbers in 2024, and it has everything to do with the fucking low viewership last week.
Uh-huh.
This is, and I quote, the most important key point is for us, we've had historically strong numbers and maintained strong numbers in TV. Okay.
Uh-huh.
That is the thing we need to do. Keep doing what we're doing because the numbers that we have are numbers people at TV would like to have.
Tony?
I really need to focus on doing good shows for AEW, but you're not about what the competition is doing. That's a fucking first. In this case, our competitor going out ahead of us and getting good media rights deals was positive for us and is good for us because we have good historical comps. What? The comps are favorable for us. I've done a ton of market research.
I know what he's trying to say, but he's trying to say he's...
Well, it's not done.
I know. I unfortunately know.
Retain top analysts and data scientists. This guy's a data guy. So he thinks his data is always right. So he's talking about the people that work for him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They're telling him.
Correct.
Whoever's telling him this should be fired because he's
They're lying out their fucking ass.
Most TV shows would kill for our ratings and demos.
So that's
No, they wouldn't.
so that's kind of what he was trying to allude to in the earlier comment. When he's saying like the comps,
Why didn't he just fucking say that?
He was trying to say like, oh, that gives us also opportunity to explore other new markets on cable.
But where? What? Where is he gonna go? That is going to hopefully draw more numbers, which is what he's saying.
Yeah, no, he's not. Not right now. Not right now. He's not. He's got a great thing going on TBS and TNT right now.
Is he though?
Do you honestly think he's going to get a better deal?
No.
Right.
He's probably going to get a lesser of a deal.
So, right, but that's my point. My saying is he's got a good thing going right now.
I think this guy thinks he's going to get more out of them.
Yeah, of course he's thinking that. I'm not saying I don't know if he's going to, but anyway, that's my point. That's
TBS is fucking stupid. They're
well,
just
that's kind of my point.
Ted Turner must be fucking running. I'm playing guy, but
he's
Turner must be running fucking.
He's not dead. But
they're obviously not going to get WWE numbers. I think they'll just get a little boost. They're gonna get like just maybe $25 million more.
No.
Than what
No, but my point, but that's my point. When I say that he's got a good thing going, what I'm saying is that Tony Khan has a good, like, programming wise and relationship with Turner Broadcasting and Time Warner is a good deal for him. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to get a big boost in numbers. I don't know. I'll be very honest with you. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that. I don't think there's going to be a decrease. At the very least, I think they're going to stay the same. I'll be very honest.
I'm going to finish this quote up. It's almost done. In sports, we skew really young. It's important to focus on that. How are you going to skew really young when parents back in the 80s and 90s were bitching about the shit that was on fucking TV? It's worse now. You're literally seeing fucking people take a fucking fluorescent light and shove it up someone's ass.
And Alpha, I'm right there with you.
Not on AEW, but that's the kind of fucking wrestling people that fucking show up at them shows want to fucking see. And John Moxley said as fucking much in that fucking stupid shoot fight shit that he fucking did, where he was fucking concussed and couldn't even fucking blurt out fucking. He was almost as bad as Joe Biden during the debate. He was so fucking incoherent.
Oh yeah, I forgot we gotta talk about that too.
We'll talk about that in a minute. We had really good growth through the last summer too. Where getting back to the best of what AEW does is important to me, and historically we've done a lot of that in the summer. That tells you that this guy thinks he has the best wrestling show ever on TV.
He has to think that.
And that's fine. But for him to actually voice that,
right?
How about you just say we're trying to be? We are aspiring to.
It's all PR. It's all PR bullshit.
And it's so dumb. But you can see through the bullshit.
I know.
They're not even say we're happy being number 2. We're happy we're.
Doesn't say that though. That's the problem. He thinks he's better than the WWE, and he's not.
So on some level, and hear me out on this one. I agree. I don't think AEW, no company's gonna be. Bottom line, no company's gonna be. There's no way.
Now, since they merged with TKO and UFC.
Yeah, there's no fucking way. So, there's no company that's ever going to top them. So just be who you are. The one thing I like about TNA right now, TNA is not at the heights that it was before, right? Clearly, it's definitely taken a step back. But you know what though? They've picked up some decent talent, but they know where they're at. They know where they know their position on the card. They know, like, you know, they even said like they had made an offer to CM Punk before he went to WWE, and they're like, look, man, we totally get it. Like, they have a shit ton more money. Good luck to you. Like, they knew, and that's makes me happy. It gives them a chance to flourish and shine a little bit in a different way, versus the delusion of Tony Khan, where it's like we drew all these numbers and all this stuff. It's like, look, definitely tout your successes, right? And definitely you want to feel like you're the best that you could possibly be. But I think you do have to add a little, like a sprinkle, just a little bit more humility. Yeah, and real,
a little realism and a little semblance that you are somewhat attached to reality.
Trying to say humility, but okay. Tomato.
Dude, this guy is boasting about having the most historic best numbers. Dude, the nightly news does constantly at least 2 million views a night.
So
you can't even get that high consistently.
I do. For example, if I ran my first show, right, which I'm working on for next summer, and then I ran another show next month, right, I could say like, oh, there was like a crowd of 25 paying people at my first ever wrestling show I promoted, right? I could, the next time I come in next month, say, man, you missed our record-breaking debut show with record attendance, right? Is it true? Yes, it's technically true, but I'm not going to spin it that way because I know how lame it is if someone's like, how many people did you draw? Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Like,
It's company record-breaking attendance.
yeah.
so, tell me, what was the storyline between Will Ospreay and Swerve?
Next question.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, I mean,
Was
actually,
it a great match? Was it a good match?
yes, it was.
I'm sure it fucking was, because both of them are really good fucking wrestlers.
Actually, now I remember because Will Ospreay won that tournament to be #1.
Okay. Well, why didn't they just do it at fucking Wembley instead of fucking blowing it off here? Who won?
And why did they have him win the international title before doing this? Did they just
See what I'm saying?
what?
This makes no fucking sense. So,
I think
honestly, tell me, who won the match? Who won the match?
Swerve.
Swerve.
Who won between Swerve and Ospreay?
Swerve.
Swerve. It was an awesome match. I would say it was probably supposed to be the match of the night. I mean, there were several great matches.
Fucking great. I'm glad that there was really good wrestling matches on there. But what the fuck are you telling me as far as the storyline with Swerve fucking beating Will Ospreay? You do all of this shit with Will Ospreay and then have him lose. The fuck are you doing? How does that make any fucking sense?
It would be too early right now. Like he just signed.
You shouldn't have fucking done it.
Casey, all right, I'll put it this way. So, I know that Will Ospreay won some sort of contenders match, right? Like, did he win a gauntlet or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, but he also won the international title in between. Like, did that play into it? Like, is it just like, hey, I'm challenging you? Like, was there any sort of story behind like, or was it like these two are fighting more or less for the sake of these two are gonna have a crazy match?
You want to know what I think Tony Khan actually did? I'm gonna try to book like Triple H.
Well, hold on, I want to hear. I want to hear what Casey. What was it, Casey?
And because they just want to book them to have a crazy match.
Okay.
I mean, having him like, I look at the international title as their intercontinental title, their #2 belt. So him going for the world belt when he's still the international champion, I think that's just stupid. I'm not gonna lie, that is just
I
stupid.
guarantee you.
So the reason
I get what you're saying, Casey, but I guarantee you that they're trying to make the TNT title the #2 belt. Why? Because Jack Perry won that belt.
So the problem with that is that from a behind the scenes standpoint, I can sort of put the pieces together of what you just said, Casey. Like, I'm not saying I agree with it, but like, oh, if you know this behind the scene factoid, then it makes sense. But if you don't follow the behind the scene factoids and just focus on what is presented on television, then it makes it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's like,
so you said back behind the scenes factoid. What is that factoid?
That you know that you're gonna be doing this to get a crazy match.
Or no, more so the thought process that the company is potentially, possibly, and again, rumor and speculation.
So when my next, sorry, were you done? I'm sorry, Connor. Go ahead.
No, I was saying was the idea that if you didn't know the behind the scene factoid or the behind the scene rumor of them trying to make the international title the #2 title, and what if we put the international champion in a match for the world title? Maybe that will boost its prestige. If you didn't know that fact, it just may, again, and I say that with a big asterisk on that fact.
I don't know if they should have fucking done. And I'm sorry if you weren't done.
No, I'm good.
Ahead.
I'm good.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Go ahead.
Of 3 secondary titles, which one do you consider is the top secondary title?
TNT.
You got
The TNT title.
TNT.
I consider the international title
Why?
because, well, one, it's like international is more like
The
pretty much
name of it? Absolutely.
it's pretty much
Absolutely. I agree with you. The problem with that is it's the same thing as a fucking world title. International, think about it. When you're saying that, it's all
well,
nations, right?
that's not the
I don't
problem.
even like the term intercontinental.
That's not the problem I have with it. The problem I have with it is that they introduced the title in a weird ass backward. That title's had some weird, funky
Then
history
they had
to it.
some fucking guy that puts his hands in his fucking pockets and try and do flips.
Well, no, not even not even Orange Cassidy. It's the fact of like when you look at it, Casey, and this is just my opinion, right? I get where you're coming from about like the display, the visual aspects, the title name itself being international, but international intercontinental, it's almost the same tune. I get that, but the the TNT title was introduced a lot sooner and had a little bit more lineage and a lot more, for lack of a better description, higher profile names hold the belt. On top of that, wasn't the international title originally like the Mid-Atlantic Championship too? Like, didn't they change the name?
All Atlantic.
What was it? Oh God! Atlantic. So it's kind of like
The problem with that is they have Japan on there, which is in the Pacific Ocean.
right. Just again, so like it's hard for me to like wrap my head around it. The only way it would work, and I'll be honest with you, it would be I would not do this myself, but the only way you would try to really cement that belt to be its own is to do a unification match. And I'll tell you right now, I think that is not a good idea, at least not right now.
Well, I was just gonna say, what they should have done was had Will Ospreay win and then get rid of the international title.
Yeah.
No, I think they should get rid of the Continental belt and then, like, I'm afraid.
Oh fuck! I forgot about there's a
fucking thing, the one that fucking Eddie Kingston had.
Jesus Christ!
They have too many fucking titles.
I forgot about that one. I'll be very honest with you. This is how much I pay attention to AEW.
Piece of shit.
See, the thing is, also, let's say if God forbid something happens and they lose their deal with Turner and they leave the networks, like, then the TNT belt means nothing now.
Same as the TBS title for the women.
Yep.
Same thing, yes, exactly.
Or as Jim Cornette pointed out, it's the Hose Championship.
Fucking Mercedes Moné. That fucking piece of shit. She's horrible.
Tell us how you really feel, JP.
I try to listen to her talk. It's like, oh my God, I'd slap her if she was my kid.
Oh, she's hot, but
she's not. She's not even fucking hot.
I think she's hot, but
hey, JP, to each their own. Go on.
Well,
I think she's definitely a bitch. If you ask
me,
she's
an idiot.
I think me saying nicely for like the way she treats her fans all the time,
Well, sometimes the fans deserve it.
Well, when you're at the Comic-Con thing and you're like, okay, you male fan, you be 6 feet away from me and we'll take a picture. And this is after the pandemic,
I hear you.
Or if you're scared of it, then you put the plexiglass thing up and take a picture.
I know what you're talking about, man. I seen the videos and I seen the pictures. I get it. It's horrible what she does to her fans. And then she charges you $400 for a fucking picture. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I could Photoshop a picture of myself and say, hey, we took a photo with her.
Exactly.
Fuck out of here. She's a horrible human being.
I got a theory why the product is in Tony, why everything's been going down a little bit. Because the whole thing with Tony's right now is paying attention, trying to work the deal with Time Warner Discovery.
Tony should not be booking wrestling.
He should not be.
Well,
yes, he's a fan and he understands certain things like the true fans do. However, he needs somebody who's actually worked in the business on the booking side, not the wrestling side, to be there with him to write these fucking shows.
The motherfucker's throwing cash out to fucking wrestlers who he lets book their own shit. That's part of the fucking problem. He just wants to watch the match. That's all he cares about. And anybody that's going to tell me any different is fooling themselves. He should hire somebody to actually fucking come in and fucking book the shit, like an Eddie Gilbert.
Yeah.
So as annoying as
he's gone, he passed away.
As annoying as it is, WWE touting their successes makes sense because it's a good business acumen to show, like, hey, from a business side of things, look at how we're fucking crushing it, right? It's annoying, but it makes sense why they would do that. It's the same thing why they do a lot of the charity stuff and the PR stuff. It's good business, right? It's not to say that AEW doesn't crush it or do these things, but that's not where you can clearly tell where the priorities are. Like we just said when I was talking with Casey about the main event of Forbidden Door, like, what was the actual like story going into it? It's like, oh, it's a match for the sake of the match. And that you can get away with that on some occasion, right? There are certain situations that you can get away with that where you have two marquee names, such as like a John Cena and a Rock. You don't need to really tell too much of a story because those are two marquee names that you're going to like throw that up there. It's like, oh shit. Okay. Yeah. Let's go check that out. They're not doing that on AEW. Like I don't know. I don't know where the head game's at. I don't know where the headspace at. I don't know what their long-term plans are from a business.
Now, let me say this. If you were to tell me that Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland were just having a match at this show, okay, I might check it out. But it's for a world title. Not going to watch that because I already know it's going to fucking happen. What should have happened didn't happen. Will Ospreay probably should have won the fucking title because when is Wembley? When is Wembley?
Isn't it like a month?
You know how we always used to bitch about they're going to do this match again? They're going to do this match again.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, definitely.
And I don't want to fucking see it. We've already seen it once. Why don't you do that at that show? Keep them two away from each other until that show. You have 2 months. He wins. It's like the Money in the Bank. Will Ospreay wins that tournament. He gets a title shot, and he says at Wembley, you and me, I will wait. Whoever wins, I will face. They could have had...
You sound like an Indian tribal chief. You will win. I will face.
Well, no, I'm just.
No, I get your point though. I'll consider this too. Like,
have Swerve Strickland wrestle. Who is he feuding with? Before.
By the way, this is me thinking in terms of what Tony Khan's thinking. $10 says that they're gonna do this again at Wembley in a fucking Iron Man match. $10. I'm putting money on that now.
Makes no sense.
I mean, it was a really long match. JR said to the one point where they're gonna wrestle all the way until Monday. Like, I mean, it was damn close. I mean, if it was on the East Coast,
why is JR still announcing? I love JR, but man, that guy needs to retire.
He only announced for 2 matches. He announced for the.
That guy just. He puts me to sleep listening to him talk now. Sorry.
It's still iconic. I mean, honestly.
Go back and watch his shit when he was in WWE. Way better then.
I miss Morrow. Morrow was pretty good.
Look, I get what you're saying, but come on. Tony Schiavone.
Yes.
Is terrible.
No.
I actually don't mind Tony, to be honest with you.
I prefer Tony over Excalibur.
Yeah.
Something other than get him away from Excalibur. That guy fucking is an idiot.
I do like Nigel.
He doesn't let anybody talk. Every time Tony Schiavone goes to say something, Excalibur talks over him because he doesn't want to hear Tony Schiavone talk because he doesn't want the spotlight taken away.
Well,
shut the fuck up and let Tony do his thing. I guarantee you, Tony Schiavone would probably. I don't think Tony Schiavone gives a shit.
No, probably not. Not as much as he used to, anyway. Speaking of people on microphones that probably shouldn't be on microphones, do we want to just quickly chime in about the presidential debate?
You want to know what I think, actually? I think Trump lied on purpose. Because remember the rules that they agreed on.
Oh, and there goes Casey.
He could have stayed.
That's all right. Appreciate you, Casey. Oh, there he's back.
He's back. So, sorry. So the thing is, I think Trump lied on purpose. Here's why. Because they agreed to rules in this debate where, and I think this is the way debates should go. It is not the moderator's job to fact check a fucking candidate. How about we let Joe Biden or Trump actually fact check what they're saying? Biden did nothing of that. Nothing of that. The only thing you're a loser. You're a loser. America. And the guy was fucking.
Oh, that was a good impression of him just there.
Anybody who sits here and says, "Well, I'm voting for Biden because he is an honest and great guy," great. He might be. He might be a great human being. In fact, I'm sure he is a great human being. But right now, our country doesn't need a great human being. What we need is somebody to say, look, enough is enough. I've had it with the bullshit. Russia, if you don't fucking stop, I'm going to fucking beat your ass. China, you want to be douchebags? Fix your climate. They're the problem with the fucking climate. They're the problem. I mean, yes, we are part of the problem, but they're the problem. Have China fix their shit. Why? The whole thing with Trump wanting to leave NATO, not true. He just wants the other countries that are a part of NATO to actually do something. How about you feed your money into NATO?
So clearly, JP being a Biden supporter. Okay, I got you. Yeah, that was your that was your takeaway.
100% if he wasn't so incoherent and actually knew what the fuck he was talking about.
Heather,
yes, Trump lied. Trump lied the whole fucking time, and he did it on fucking purpose because they agreed to rules because Biden needed to fact check him, and he didn't fucking do it. Because Biden doesn't know what the fuck he is doing. I'm voting for an administration. I'm not voting for either Trump or Biden. I'm voting for an administration. And I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Neither one of them two is actually running the country. They only have policies that they like and agree with. Yes, they have veto power, but so does the Senate, so does Congress. So we're sitting here talking about, oh my God, Trump's going to do this. He can't do shit without fucking Congress. There are certain things he cannot do without Congress.
Correct.
There are certain things he cannot do without the Senate. So for everybody sitting here crying over spilt fucking milk, and I get it. Everybody's scared. Neither one of these guys, if we didn't have what we have, we'd be fucked. If Biden was actually running this country, we probably would have been overrun by fucking Mexico a long time ago.
So Heather, what'd you think of the debate?
Great meme fodder.
What?
It was great meme fodder.
Holy shit! Yeah, I'm surprised more TikTok sounds didn't come out of it. To be very honest with you, Casey.
I didn't watch it, but I was thinking about watching it. But honestly, if you look at, did Biden really do anything for us in these?
Oh, you gotta give him that huck too and spit on that thing.
Pardon me.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Casey. Finish.
No, I was going to say, like, I can't really think of anything positive that Biden done for us.
Well, okay.
Well,
So-
I don't want to get too deep into this. I just wanted to just quick like summation of the debate itself in terms of
Yeah,
like
so
overall
this isn't,
over.
This isn't about well who's good for it. Well, it is. That's what this debate was about. So Casey is kind of right.
This thing was a fucking train wreck.
It was a train wreck. Biden may have spoke truths, but I can tell you right fucking now. I had my television on probably, it was loud because I have a sound bar because my speakers are going on the TV. So I have a sound bar and it was pretty loud, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure the kids over at the swimming pool could fucking hear it, right? I could not fucking understand anything that Joe Biden was saying, and this was just not understanding.
Oh, you're not alone in that.
And it was incoherent. It was
It was the absolute.
inaudible.
It was the worst. Like, okay, so I'm just gonna be very blunt and say that I think neither of them looked great at all coming out of this thing. Just flat out honest. Trump was funnier. I'm not gonna lie. There was a couple of times where he's like, I don't even think he knows. I couldn't understand his sentence. I don't think even he knew what he understood in the last sentence. I'm like, fucking all right, but like, this was a fucking shit. This was a shit show. I thought Biden might have dropped out after this, to be very honest. And then I saw like a news thing on Twitter. It said like Biden's family comes together at Camp David and rallies him to keep in the race. I'm like, you guys know he had a chance to get out. Why?
The Democrats, and this was even on CNN, they even had people messaging them saying this is not good at all. And it wasn't good.
No.
And then he shows up the next day. Apparently he wasn't allowed to take his drugs. Because he looks like he does 99% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you seen that picture of him over in fucking Italy? I think he was in Italy, where the paratroopers had landed and the fucking Italian prime minister, Biden, turns around and he's just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here.
Yeah.
And then she has to grab him, turn around to look at what this guy was doing. And then he puts on his sunglasses, like, and he just looked like it looked like he was having a stroke. I
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I don't understand why people, and look, again, I say this, Biden might be a nice guy. I'm sure he is. I'm sure he cares. I'm sure Trump doesn't give two fucking shits about what you and I do. He don't.
No.
I'm sure Biden.
He don't care. He don't care. Biden might give a shit what Casey does in his daily life.
Casey's shaking his head. No.
Biden wants to have a conversation with. I think he would sit down and he would have a conversation with you. What do you want? What do you think? And if you actually told him the truth, what do you want? He'd be like, oh, okay, well, I'll see what I can do. You know, because that's the kind of guy he is, right? But he might say Merc at the end of it and not know why. I just...
Or just randomly start chanting, let's go, Brandon.
With Trump, and I'm not saying that Trump is the right guy, but I think the people that he...
Well, I appreciate your support.
The people that he puts in place... Because he knows he's not really fucking in charge.
I would disagree, but continue.
I honestly think they make him look like he's in charge.
Thank you.
But he actually listens to the people that tell him what to do, as long as it is a good idea.
Keep giving me that Huck toy.
He is not going to fucking agree with, well, I think we should give Ukraine $60 billion more. I don't think Trump is going to.
I think that's a little much. I'm not sure how much that equates out to, but it.
$200 billion we have given Ukraine.
Holy shit.
Ever since this war started, $200 billion of taxpayers' money has gone to Ukraine. And look at how far it's gotten us. Why?
The only thing I'm just...
Because I'll tell you why, Casey. Because if we actually got involved in that
I don't know
war,
if Casey asked.
and I'm telling you,
I'm
we would
joking.
probably be in World War III right now.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll just...
The United States will not get militarily involved as far as sending soldiers over there to fight alongside the Ukrainians, because then you're starting World War III.
Why don't we just not be involved?
So...
Like,
I think we should just not be involved, because everybody's afraid. Was just Putin gonna stop there? Let's look at the previous.
Let me call Daddy
How many
Putin. We'll get this
wars-
whole thing squished out. It's fine. No problem.
How many wars were we involved?
Uncle Poo Poo is what I call him.
How many wars were started under Trump's administration?
Was it 0?
We were finishing up in Afghanistan.
You're both wrong. I had many wars. Usually on my private toilet, those burritos, chimichangas, they block me up, man. It's bad.
So anyway, just trying to move on from this, but
This will be the last thing I say about this debate. Then we can just wrap up with some wrestling shit or whatever. It is to me, and I say this not as a Democrat, as a Republican, neither side of the fence, doesn't fucking matter to me, that debate showcased to me that we have reached an unfortunate point in this process where when we used to vote for who was going to be the president of the United States, we were voting for the best possible person for that job. And we were weighing out who we thought was the better fit. And now we are simply going to be voting on who is the lesser of two evils and has less cons than the other.
I'm going to tell you this right now. I am waiting to see who Trump picks as his vice president. Depending on who he picks for his vice president, he better pick the right fucking person. I think it should be... I don't know if he can pick Marco Rubio.
What about Shane McMahon?
Because they live in the same state. You can't have, and it's in the Constitution or in the law or whatever. You cannot have two people at the top of a ticket be from the same state.
Oh, what about Vince McMahon?
So,
oh God,
JD Vance, I could get behind JD Vance.
Here comes Vinnie Mac coming back with an attack. He lost his company.
Honestly, I could also see the guy, the one African American dude from South Carolina, Scott.
I call him Scotty.
You're making light of something that's really not funny. But, that guy I think could run for vice president. I'd be the vice president, and I'd get on board because I don't think Trump is going to make 4 years either.
I think the only VP, the only other,
he'll die.
The only other one I saw that I heard was possibly I can't remember his last name, but I believe his first name was Vivek.
Vivek Ramaswamy? No, I don't want him.
I
don't know, man.
He would probably be with my limited knowledge of what's going on. He would probably be my ideal pick, just from what I remember.
He's a great talker.
He is. He is a very good talker. But anyway,
but I don't know about his policies. I agree with JD Vance's or the guy from South Carolina. I agree with his policies and what they would be.
So,
but I think as far as the debate goes, Trump won because he made Joe Biden look like a fucking idiot.
And the best part is Joe did it himself.
Yes, he did.
So real quick, since we got Casey with us, and we're gonna probably wrap this bad boy up in a minute. I know it's a little premature. It's a little tad bit premature, but knowing some of the stuff that's happening or going to be happening at Money in the Bank, I know it's a little bit premature. We could talk a quick Money in the Bank predictions.
That's actually next week.
Yep. So I know that there are still a men's and women's spot to be filled, but we have, I think, a majority of the cards. So why don't we just do a quick rapid fire with this one? So who's walking out with the briefcases? So
Go ahead.
So for men's, we have Jey Uso, Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, Chad Gable, good old El Bag. LA Knight, and the mystery participant will either be Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, or Ilya Dragunov.
I think LA Knight is winning.
It's either LA Knight or Drew McIntyre.
One of them two. I can agree with that, and I can agree. But here's what I was thinking they were gonna do. I was thinking LA Knight wins the United States title at SummerSlam because they're doing LA Knight versus Logan Paul.
Yeah.
And he's going to hold the title for a little bit and the Money in the Bank. Remember, i.e. Seth Rollins. And I'm not saying he's going to win both, but I think when he loses it, he will then go for the Money in the Bank and win it, and that might happen at Royal Rumble.
I think depending on who's going to be, if Drew's in there, I could definitely see Drew winning. If Drew qualifies as enters in the Money in the Bank, I could see that happening. But at the same time, I could also.
Well, I think CM Punk's going.
I was about to say there's going to be a lot of.
They're doing CM Punk and Drew at.
I feel like there's going to be like 3 fucking run-ins. Uncle Howdy's going to kill Chad Gable again and shoot him in the fucking head. Logan Paul's going to run in and take out LA Knight. Which is again another reason why I'm not picking LA Knight. It's kind of the same vein. And then if Drew's in there, you could argue that CM Punk's gonna interfere. So I think for me, knowing that all 3 of those fucking interferences could happen, if Chad Gable's case, another fucking assassination, I'm actually gonna go with Jey Uso.
That's too much overbooking there.
He's over though right now.
I'm not saying all 3 are going to happen in the same match. I'm just saying there's a possibility we're going to get like multiple, like, I don't know. I could see any of those combinations happening, like 1, 2, or all 3. But so to play it safe, I'm going with Jey Uso. I could see Jey Uso winning it.
I don't want to see Jey win it.
If I had to choose one, I probably would choose Drew McIntyre.
I would actually love to see Drew with it, to be very honest with you, because he's never won it before, right? He has never won Money in the Bank before, so yeah.
Does he have to though? Does he really need it?
No, he doesn't need it, but it's.
Why give it to him?
Because he's the only one that seems viable on that card.
I think LA Knight's as viable as
you could interweave it into the CM Punk storyline in different ways, and then maybe utilize and hook somebody else into it. You're right. I will definitely agree with you that it's not a necessity for him to win it, but it would be intriguing, if nothing else, that he would potentially maybe lose that briefcase to somebody down the line. Anyway, for the women's, we got Io Sky.
Oh, Heather.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Drew.
Oh, you think Drew?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't hear. Go ahead.
Io Sky, Chelsea Green, Lyra Valkyria, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and then I'm trying to think the third last qualifying match, I believe it's Ivy Nile, Fallon Henley. Hold on, let me see if I can find the triple threat. No.
Fallon Henley's not in the Money in the Bank match.
No, a qualifying match. I'm trying to find.
She's not in a qualifying match either.
I need to find the qualifying match then.
There's no way. She's on NXT. She's in a feud for the North American Women's title right now. They're gonna.
But anyway, any idea who you guys think we might see?
Honestly, I think Chelsea Green's gonna win it.
It's either I'm.
Oh, here it is.
Along the same lines, it might be Chelsea Green or
Tiffany Stratton.
Sorry, so it's Io Sky, Chelsea Green, Lyra Valkyria, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and then the 6th woman is either going to be Zoe Starks, Ivy Nile, or Dakota Kai.
I think Dakota Kai will get in, but I don't think she's winning. I think it's going to be Tiffany Stratton or Chelsea Green.
I think Zoe Starks will get into the match.
You're muted.
Yeah.
But
you think Zoe Stark?
I think she's getting into the match. But as far as winning, oh man, Chelsea Green's a very good pick.
She's a good pick because she fits the moniker of what the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, honestly, there's a few I could pick in this one. Chelsea Green's a good.
Tiffany Stratton would be a good one too.
I could honestly go with Chelsea. I could go with Tiffany. I could even possibly see Lyra. It's definitely an odd.
They're trying to build up.
I could see her too. So I mean, I could see either one of those three. Casey, what about you? What about you?
Just straight by hotness, Tiffany Stratton. Just because she's the hottest one out. Of all.
I could see her bedazzling the shit out of that briefcase.
Yes.
I don't think she will. And she might though.
She'd make it fancy because that's her character.
Make it look like a makeup case.
Yeah.
Watch Naomi win it. It'd be just glowing like it's dipped in like in radiation or something.
So
yep.
I do want to go through this, but I do have something else to say about the comparison between AEW and WWE when it comes to their pay-per-views.
I think we had this conversation.
No,
already.
no amount of matches.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah.
Hate it. I love WWE's better.
Damian Priest is taking on Seth Rollins.
So this is the only one I'll be completely honest with. Actually, no, this is a lie. I don't know. I have no idea on this one. I honestly have no idea on this one.
So if Seth wins, then they're really trying to push him
back to the top
to be the face of their because that means Cody's losing the belt at some point.
Well,
And
Cody
they're gonna let Seth Rollins be the face of the company.
Well, no, hear me out. I don't know about that, but
That's if Seth wins, though. Keep in mind.
Yep.
That's just a prediction. That's not me saying that's what's gonna happen. That's just what I would do. I would because Cody Rhodes has been working hard. I'm sorry, everybody says he's not. Can go fuck themselves.
No, he's crushing it.
These fucking Roman Reigns fucking people. Fucking they're worse than the fucking AEW people.
He is crushing it.
They're so fucking dumb. They are the dumbest people on the face of the fucking earth.
Heather, what do you think?
Honestly, I don't see Seth winning it here. I see them prolonging because of interference that Priest didn't want. So then he sits there. That match, that's a scratch. Forget that one. One more. You get one more shot.
They're pulling the trigger on the Finn and Damian Priest thing. I can see it.
Well,
you can see it every fucking week.
So real
the way Finn Balor keeps looking at Damian Priest is like,
well,
I'm gonna get you, fucker.
Here's the kicker. I didn't know that. I knew about one of these stipulations. I didn't know about both, and I want to hear from Casey's. If Priest wins, if Damian Priest retains the world title, Seth Rollins can never challenge him for the belt so long as Priest is the world's heavyweight champion. However, if Seth Rollins wins, Priest must leave the Judgment Day.
Yes.
Right.
Which is why and this is why I agree with you. I don't know which way this is going.
Which I love. I love the fact that it's this hard.
But I do like the fact that if Seth does win, then you know what they are doing.
Yes. Casey, you're up.
I'm thinking with that, maybe that Vince is going to cost Damian the world title to Seth. Because, I mean, Damian's okay as world champion. I mean, Cody, you look at Cody, yes, I look at him as a real world champion. Damian, I'm not saying he's a bad champion. I've seen some really shit champions like Jinder.
Jinder wasn't a bad champion. He was just put in a spot that he shouldn't.
He wasn't prepared for it.
Well,
no.
it's not that he wasn't prepared for it. Vince was being stupid.
Yeah.
That's a Vince booking decision. Go ahead.
But with this though, there's the different ways you go about it. Really, anybody's game at this point. I honestly feel like Damian Priest should have been pushed away from Judgment Day a lot longer ago.
Agreed. I'm thinking personally, I'm gonna go with. It's going to be a double count out of some kind because it isn't.
There's going to be some kind of fuckery.
It isn't going. Well, I wouldn't even call that fuckery. I just think them two are just going to go at it. Do you want to prolong a feud? That's how you prolong a feud. Have it as a double count out, like them two fight on the outside.
Double
It'd just be a double count out. disqualification, whatever the fuck you want to call it, double disqualification, that's fine. I could see them doing something along those lines, and I would be okay with it. Neither one has to leave Judgment Day, and Seth can still challenge for the title because he didn't win, nor did he fucking lose, unless it is that he has to win the title. You see what I'm saying?
I'm pretty sure it is that he has to win the
That's
title.
not the way it was stated, though. That's my thing. It's not, huh?
I said that's a great point. Because
Yeah, but the way it was stated was not. And you may be right; they may do that, but the way that they said it, they didn't say if you don't win the title, or if you don't win the title. I mean, I can see that they did word it right, but you could also word it, well, I didn't win, but I didn't lose. They aren't throwing that if you lose, and I think he did say if you lose, you can never challenge.
So if Damian Priest nails Rollins immediately with the championship belt and gets himself disqualified, Priest would retain. Rollins would win, which means well, no, hear me out. Rollins would win, but it would mean Priest would leave the Judgment Day. But Priest would still have the world title.
And I can see that. I can see that as a thing, but that doesn't mean Seth can't get another shot at the title either.
Correct. So it checks off every box you have.
I think then at SummerSlam you can see a triple threat between Seth Rollins, Damian Priest, and Finn Balor because they're breaking up. That's gonna happen.
This is going to be the big catalyst point. Some major chapter of the story is going to happen here, no matter what way you think of the breakup for Judgment Day. Priest is going to get the boot. Then you're going to have Carlito, which is still fucking funny to me. Carlito, JD McDonough, Finn Balor. Because Finn will be the one to reveal that he obviously recruited Liv to like coerce Dom, and maybe he'll do something of like, this is not what we wanted Judgment Day to be. You know, now all this crazy shit's happening, and then Dom's just in the storyline until fucking Rhea gets cleared, and then she comes back to fucking massive babyface ovation. But no matter what way you slice it, I think no matter what way you slice it, I think Seth's winning. Unfortunately, I don't think there's gonna be a DQ situation because. Don't forget who is waiting for him at SummerSlam.
Right.
That's true.
Drew McIntyre.
No,
Gunther.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't want Gunther winning though.
Well, either,
you're hot potatoing a title. I don't like that.
I'm not a fan of it either. But at the very least, classic babyface heel situation
Honestly, I think Gunther should lose.
No.
Yes. Why does Gunther? Okay, I had this conversation. Me and Basement and Connor had this conversation.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn on it.
You cannot have this fucking guy win fucking everything right away all the fucking time.
Yeah,
he has to take some sort of fucking loss.
Along
the line. I'm not saying that he's never going to win it. In fact, I wouldn't have him win it. I'd have fucking Braun Breaker. Well, the next match I'm going to talk about, I would honestly have, and this is why I think it might actually be a fuck finish, because I think they're actually flipping the Intercontinental title.
So, oh God, how the hell did we get here? I can't even remember how the hell we got to this point in the conversation.
I think
Talking about who's going to win between Damian and...
Yeah,
I don't think the title's changing hands. I agree with
Gunther. So it's really hard. It's really hard to say because
well, then it'd be fatal 4-way.
What was it?
Wait, Gunther doesn't win. He protects him.
Well, what I was gonna say was I could definitely see some sort of bullshit shenanigan finish. Because what I can definitely see happen is that somehow, way, shape, or form, Seth retains the world title at SummerSlam. But you better fucking believe Gunther's winning that belt in Berlin.
More than likely, yeah. That's what they go with, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Come on. Well, then again, it doesn't look like a lot of people have been doing very good in their hometown, so who fucking knows lately? Fucking Drew lost at Scotland, Punk's destroyed in Chicago.
We'll see. That's one match that I'm looking forward to as far as storytelling goes, because it's going to be a good match, but it's going to have a story behind it, because Seth Rollins is really good at in-ring psychology.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. This will help Damian Priest look very, very good. So,
Oh, absolutely.
We'll see. But Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental title. I honestly think they're putting the title on Braun. And I'm okay with it. And this is where Gunther, I'm telling you right now, he might get a short run with the title, but he is ultimately going to be Braun Breaker's
First major feud.
He's going to put Braun Breaker, Gunther is going to put Braun Breaker into that
Upper echelon.
I agree.
strategy.
I agree. So,
And you're going to see, not at this WrestleMania, but the next WrestleMania, it's going to be Braun Breaker is going to be your world champion.
Casey, what was up?
Can I bring something up? Look what happened to Rusev. Rusev was red hot at WrestleMania
31. Yeah.
Yeah. And when he finally lost to John Cena, that didn't hurt him. It's when they should have finally, like, by sometime like that year, they should have put the world belt. But he never got I don't even think he got the United States belt again after that.
I never wanted Rusev to be world champion.
I thought he was red hot. I saw them as world champion.
But just because somebody's red hot, Casey, doesn't mean you have to put the title on him.
Well, hold on. Let him finish.
But I thought him was the perfect heel as a world champion. And I'm afraid if they don't give Gunther the world title at least at SummerSlam, I'm afraid they're going to do what they did to Rusev.
That's honestly what I think of Gunther.
So I get your point on that, Casey, but I also will respectfully say this. In general, and this is not a knock on any specific wrestler, and this is just my opinion. So please take this with a grain of salt. I am not a fucking omnipotent being of wrestling opinions here. In my opinion, undefeated streaks are tough. Right? They're a great way to get somebody over quick. And it's a simple, easy thing for fans to connect with. Hey, what's this guy's deal? Oh, he's never lost a fucking match. Holy shit, really? And then you start climbing those numbers up. They did, obviously, fucking it worked with Goldberg. They did it with Umaga when he first showed up. It's a great little catalyst tool to get somebody over to a certain point, right? Yeah. Gunther I'm not saying Gunther is there, but he kind of falls in that bracket of the undefeated streak. And the thing of it is, that can get you to a certain point, and I use Goldberg, unfortunately, as an example here. But once you get to a certain point, you have to be able to lose in the correct way, right?
You have the same problem with Asuka.
Gunther's gonna have to lose at some point. He has to, and
I mean, yes, he lost to Sami Zayn.
I was getting there. Yep.
At WrestleMania.
Yep.
Okay.
He still needs at least one more loss.
My point is he's wrestling for a world title. Does he have to win it right away? Does he have to win every title on his first shot? Do you see what I'm saying? Does that make any sense to you?
I'm afraid
it's formulaic.
Hold on, let him.
It's formulaic. Well, I'm done. It's formulaic.
Yes.
In the sense that if you do that, the guy that you're trying to build to that next, you're hot-shotting him. You're hot-shotting Gunther.
Afraid if they wait. A lot of times when someone's like red hot, like we never were when Sami Zayn was red hot. You could have put the world title on him. He didn't have to be multi-time world champion or even have the belt for like 6 months.
But you're talking. So let me ask you this: you're talking about when he wrestled Roman Reigns?
Yeah.
No. Why ruin what was really good at that moment? Yeah, Sami Zayn again. Do you just because somebody is red hot?
I got the perfect example here.
Why do you need to put the title on them? They didn't do it for Stone Cold, and he was red hot too.
I'll tell you why I'd put the belt on Gunter, but it's not because of the reasons you think of.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did. They put it-
Casey. No, they didn't. I guarantee it they fucking didn't. Because they had an opportunity to fucking do it right before fucking WrestleMania. And they didn't fucking do it. He actually had, like the year before, he was red hot then.
Heather, what was? Oh.
Remember he won that Royal Rumble over Bret Hart?
Yeah.
Heather, what was your example?
I am going to say a very classic wrestler name whose name always pops up in these conversations. Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Yeah, he never needed the title.
Red smoking hot.
Yeah, he was-
White smoking hot even at that point, dude.
Yeah.
Never had the world title.
Never had the world title.
He never needed it.
He never needed it.
So here's what I'll say to flip the script a little bit to Casey's point. This is just my opinion, obviously. Again, asterisk. I think Gunter is the right person right now to have the world championship, because now is kind of they're changing a little bit of the guard, especially when it comes to the top tier of the company, right? As much as Cody defeating Roman was a changing of the guard on one hand, they are building that, or at least attempting to build that same type of superstar over on Raw. It's the whole concept of the brand split, right? Stars on both programs.
And that's what they're trying to do with Damian Priest, but they need to get him away from Judgment Day.
Correct. I agree with you on that, because my next question to that was, and this is not including Drew McIntyre and CM Punk because they're technically, I would say, tweeners, but who's the biggest heel right now on Raw? Gunter. So you could use Gunter.
I think
I just don't see it with Gunther. I mean, Triple H is trying, but Gunther, he came out on fucking Monday and he just stumbled.
I'll put it to you this way: what I could see them doing is doing almost the exact same thing. And I get it's repetitive, it's formulaic, but it is, hey, some things are in wrestling, and even it's predictable doesn't mean it's not fun. Doing, or at least trying to replicate to some extent, what he did to the Intercontinental title in terms of trying to give it some more value and prestige. Again, trying.
I don't. Okay. So you're telling me right now, you don't think Seth Rollins can make that championship belt legitimate?
Oh, no.
no. He's talking about a changing of the guard.
Yeah, not at all. I'm not.
In which case, I would actually then point out that Braun Breaker should be the one that they're going for with that, considering he's younger, he's more athletic.
He's a better fucking heel.
I would make him honestly. I think that I was actually going to get to the point with who I think should beat Gunter for the belt is Braun.
Yeah, but okay, so let's hot shot. You're hot shotting. There's got to be a build to it. You can't. Storytelling is everything when it comes to the main titles.
Okay,
You
so
can't
then
just say,
where?
"I want this guy to be
Okay,
the champion because he is red hot."
so okay, all right. So then so who?
Hold that thought. Really, they could work it in because him and Ludwig Kaiser have been going back and forth, and Gunther could sit there and say, "You know what? You've been kicking my lackey's ass. Now I'm going to show my lackey how to fucking do it."
And he loses.
Unfortunately, Kaiser, I think, is out with an injury. Actually, he's out with an arm injury.
For now,
Yeah.
But Braun Breaker should never lose to Gunther. Sorry, do not fucking.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying Braun Breaker would be the one to beat Gunter for the world title.
But when are you going to do that?
Mania.
No, too soon.
Okay.
Too soon.
I have to agree. I think right now that Braun Breaker should just have the Intercontinental title.
I think he will be the Intercontinental Champion.
I
don't think he's going to win the world title until. I don't think he's going to win it until. And I'm thinking, honestly, he's probably going to be over on fucking SmackDown.
I think he's gonna win the IC title at the pay-per-view. There it is.
Agreed. And Gunther.
Okay. So back to my point here. Okay, yeah. So who do you think's gonna win this match then? Priest or Rollins? Remind me again. I'm sorry.
I said
Priest.
I think it's going to be a no.
Okay, so
it's going to be a double.
So you think Priest? So you think Priest is going to hold the belt? Okay, so Priest goes on to SummerSlam. So it's Priest versus Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
Gunther doesn't win.
Nope.
Then what?
Then what?
Well, you could build off of that because of the fact that Gunther only is going up against Priest because he only won the King of the Ring. There was no other build-up than that.
I would say that is where Finn Balor intervenes.
I mean with Gunther, just Gunther himself.
But this is where Finn Balor intervenes. And gets Damian Priest. He wins.
Mm-hmm.
But then Damian Priest shows up on Monday Night Raw and says, he has been saying on Monday Night Raw, stay out of my business, stay out of my matches, do not get involved.
Right.
I got it on my own.
I understand that.
That is what is going to happen because he will be on the verge of losing the title, but he will ultimately it'll be disqualification. Gunther will win, but he won't win the title.
Okay, so my point is, what do you do with him then if that's the case? He wins the King of the Ring. What?
He wins it at Berlin.
Oh, okay. That's what my question was. Okay.
I'm okay with that.
I was a little confused because we
weren't saying blow this off entirely. No, extend it.
No, I agree with you guys. Then I'm not saying. That's kind of the same mindset I have.
So then Finn Balor and Damian Priest become a thing, and that is the next feud for Survivor Series where they have a match.
I was gonna say I think they're gonna do Damian Priest and Finn at SummerSlam, like 1-on-1, or Finn and JD versus Priest and Dom for the tag titles at SummerSlam.
Well, at SummerSlam, Gunther has a title shot.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. That's why I think Seth's gonna win.
That might be, but we'll see.
But
I think that Damian Priest has not been a great champion, so that's why I feel like they need to pull the belt off of him.
I don't think he's been bad.
I don't think he's bad either, but
he was better with Bad Bunny than he is with actual wrestling.
Well, this opportunity got his foot in the door, and it's what he does with it afterwards. I think will be a. Because he hasn't had bad. I mean, I thought his match with Drew was pretty good. I thought his match at.
The dude can wrestle. We're not saying he can't.
Yeah.
And it's the promo work and the presentation work that he's trying to put forward at least.
Yeah, that's a good first try.
But I think Braun Breaker has beaten Sami Zayn.
I agree.
Yes.
Yep, yeah. I agree. All right, that was easy enough.
You have the 6-man tag match.
Holy shit.
3-on-3. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens versus the Bloodline of Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa, or Jacob Fatu.
All right, so I'll say my quick piece on this. Three notes. One, they haven't officially said which of the 3 out of the 4 members of the new Bloodline are going to be in the 6-man tag. I really, really hope it's the Tongans and Jacob Fatu, not Solo. I don't want Solo in the ring on this one. Just throwing that out there right now.
Keep him and Cody separate.
Yep.
I think Cody and him are having a match at SummerSlam.
The other 2 points is that one of these 2 things are going to happen, if not both. I think. 1, Tribal Chief comes back. Roman Reigns makes his return, whether it be just his entrance, his music, or whatever the fuck it is, or not saying he even interferes in the match, but in some way, shape, or form, Roman Reigns returns.
And either he's visible on the ramp or flash him on video, yes.
Something. And or this might happen. I think this also could be the night that Orton drops Cody with an RKO.
That could be.
Because he did drop that Easter egg of
But
looking at the belt and
I-
not him.
But I think they aren't gonna do Randy and Cody at SummerSlam. I think it's gonna be Solo and Cody.
Which is all the more reason to keep them separate in that.
Solo in the match.
I respectfully say that I think if they do that, that is a gigantic ass misstep. There is a lot.
No. Because that's when Roman Reigns shows back up.
Even with that, you still need to be careful. It can get real dicey.
That
He's not. Cody Rhodes isn't losing the title to Solo Skull.
no, God no. Go ahead, Casey.
I got a problem with them stealing the name Bloodline. It should be like a new Bloodline or Bloodline something.
No.
Like
I love what they're. So they've made reference to it.
Bloodline.
Have you been watching Weekly?
Or Bloodline, 0 calorie.
No. Like Michael Cole and Michael Cole was the only one on commentary this week.
Yep.
He's been calling it the Bloodline 2.0.
I got the name. That's the Bloodline, the next generation.
It's not.
Like-
no.
Dun,
Roman Reigns is
dun,
almost the same age. Roman Reigns is
so
much older than those guys. You can't really do that.
The thing is, I think that I think that Cody and Solo, just again the teases they've been doing with Orton, I think they're gonna do, and I think it's a bigger match. Even if you know Cody's gonna keep the belt, Cody and Randy, I think is happening at SummerSlam. I think that like they're gonna pull the trigger. I think they're gonna pull the trigger on that one.
Well, that one needs a belt. That one needs to happen at WrestleMania. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't know if Randy's gonna make it to WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of
He is. I would do it at fucking Survivor Series. I don't fucking know.
I mean, personally, I would love to keep it to Mania, but like maybe Randy only has like so much time that he can do. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what his deal is as far as like his health and how many matches he's got or whatever the case may be.
Well, I don't think he's gonna. Well, if I've seen him wrestle, he hasn't really done anything crazy recently. Like doing the high spot shit. So he doesn't do that shit. He doesn't break
it. He doesn't break his legs like Adam Copeland. You think you know him?
Or like Sid Vicious, where
I think Roman Reigns may very well show up at fucking Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I think money.
One
I
of
think
the two. It's either going something's happening at Money in the Bank.
Well, I could see both of these things happening where like Roman chases Solo around the ring and chases him out of the arena, distracts him long enough, and then babyface celebrating an RKO to Cody to close the show.
Honestly, you know what I see? I see the Bloodline actually winning this match. And Roman coming out and hugging all four of them. And like I'm on your side and shit.
I don't know, man. That one's a lot. I know where you're going. I know you're getting at with that one, and I just I think.
I mean, it'd be too obvious but I would have it then that they turn on Roman.
What?
And then The Rock shows up, and they have the Jimmy and Jey Uso, and they build to the Survivor Series where Jimmy and Jey Uso join Roman Reigns, and then they have The Rock, and The Rock. Ultimately, the way this is going is The Rock is going to be the head of the fucking new Bloodline.
Yes, I agree with you on that one.
It's not Solo Sikoa like everybody seems to fucking think it is.
No,
it's actually The Rock.
But what I think what'll happen is I think when Roman comes back, he'll clean house, right? Babyface return, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. But then the numbers game will just will creep up on him, right? Like it'll be him versus Solo 1-on-1 at the next pay-per-view, whatever the fuck. And then like Solo will get the win. And then like they'll do the numbers game, and then that's when he'll recruit Jimmy Uso back, and that's when he'll get Jey Uso to help out.
I'm just telling you what I thought. I don't know.
But
I don't
anyway.
We'll see what happens, but I don't want to see Cody and Randy. It's too fucking soon.
I think that's where they're going.
I hope not.
I'd be happy either way, honestly. I mean, I see good points from both sides.
I hope not.
But between this match, it's definitely the Bloodline, the next generation, will win this match.
It's not Bloodline Next Generation.
Okay, it's Bloodline Deep Space Nine.
It's Bloodline 2.0.
Bloodline Voyager.
Sure, if that's what the fuck you want to call
All
it.
right, bitch him. Here, I'll take that. Beat me up, bitches. Ooh,
So I do want to say one more fucking thing, and this is I'm gonna fucking say this, and I kind of said it at the beginning.
Should I mute you or?
The 5 matches that they have at Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
People are actually comparing it to what AEW did tonight. Who wants to watch 14 fucking matches?
God no.
Garbage.
Did people not fucking shit on fucking WWE for having 14 fucking matches on a fucking one day of WrestleMania? And the pre-show, I don't know what time the pre-show started for this fucking shit show.
4 a.m.
Because the Forbidden Door is a shit show. It makes no sense.
It started-
Once you open the door, you can't call it the Forbidden Door anymore because it's already been opened. Everybody can just walk on through and say, "Hey, I'm here. Look at me. You want to wrestle? We're the best wrestle."
Listen, I did that once at church when I was in nothing but underwear, and it didn't turn out very well. But the point is, yeah, you can't. Once you open that Forbidden Door, people talk, and it's.
Call it something else.
I
Call it Wrestling Dynasty, for fuck's sake.
Nope, that's the show they're doing on the 5th.
I get it. But I was saying, well, that was my thing. Why the fuck did they not say this? Why don't they just call it that now? You can't say Forbidden Door. It's not a Forbidden Door. You already fucking opened it, you fucking
You
idiot.
gotta give him that huck to
Do
and
it.
spit on
Spit on that thing. But there's a reason why Triple H only does 5 matches per show. He wants to see wrestling at pay-per-views just like everybody else does. And yes, they're 3 hours long, but the vignettes are longer, and you can actually see what they're building to.
Yeah.
If you don't watch the show weekly, you can see what they're building to.
It lets shit
Why
breathe,
these
for God's
guys are
sakes.
fucking having this fucking match. That's why WWE is so much better, and that's why they only do 5 matches a show now.
It lets
And that's why we no longer have squash matches at a fucking pay-per-view.
I didn't see
we didn't really see. I was gonna say we don't really see squash matches on weekly TV much anymore.
Exactly.
Because they're storytelling. They're doing the storytelling in between, and they have their matches. Like the Money in the Bank qualifying matches are like 15 minutes apiece.
Yep. Everything can breathe, and having
Yes.
less matches on pay-per-view makes not only the matches more important and special, but it makes the pay-per-view itself more special too.
Correct. And this is the problem that I have with AEW. It's 2 hours of nothing but fucking wrestling. You're having a fucking world title match at this show between 2 guys. If there is one thing you need to do is tell me why these 2 are having a match. Not just because he won a fucking tournament. Great, he won a fucking tournament. Tells me he's not fucking winning the title here.
I think the best way to describe it is that AEW is, for better or for worse, clearly playing to their niche. That's the best way. Hold on. You can play to that niche to a point, to a tilt, right? It's the ECW effect, right? ECW. I know everyone's fucking sick and tired of talking about ECW, but ECW, right, succeeded off of a niche audience. So you can make a run of it. You just can't.
Won't be forever.
You just can't. It's either won't be forever or it's not going to reach the heights of certain other for WWE. Well, I mean, again, no one's going to fucking touch WWE at this point. So AEW is doing great. They're doing wonderful, amazing things, and I'm not taking anything away from them. They have incredible matches and stuff like that. And to say who's going to watch 16 matches? There are people and there are wrestling fans who that is clearly for.
The problem with that is, Connor, is those people, and I see it on Twitter every day, that say, I can't wait for this fucking show. I get 14 matches of fucking wrestling.
Yep.
Are the same fucking people that shit on fucking WWE for doing the same fucking thing.
Yeah, they're fucking stupid,
This is
of course.
the problem that I have with it.
Okay.
So you know what I say to these people?
These nuts. Got him.
What do you mean, these people?
Oh God, that's
You know
Casey.
what I
No,
fucking mean.
don't open fucking Pandora's box for God's
Do it,
sakes.
please.
No, I had to. It was a throwback from back in the derail days. Was true.
No, I get it.
Oh no, yeah.
These people thing is those people that fucking think AEW is the greatest show on fucking earth. That's those
The
people.
tribal fandom of both sides is just
The
it's
tribal fandom on both sides is fucking horrible.
it's
is.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't focus on every match. There were sometimes like some matches if
The piss breaks, yeah.
So, you took a lot of piss breaks, son.
the goal the goal of the pay-per-views, right, on whichever side of the fence you're on, WWE or AEW, but the goal should be is that you should want to, again, the perfect situation, right, is from the promoter side, in this case Tony Khan or Triple H's or Nick Khan, we want you to care about every match as much as possible because we want you to watch the show as much as possible from start to finish, right? We don't want you to miss anything. We want you to be glued to the screen.
On top of that, we're helping our championships actually seem like they're worth something.
That too. Which one, just statistically, which one do you think can do that better? And the answer is always going to be WWE because there are only 5 matches, but they'll make sure that you pay attention and understand why each one of those 5 matches is extremely important. Whereas AEW, for the sake of the way they throw their pay-per-views together, and again, WWE used to do this in the past, so they're no saints to this either, just saying compared to now. But AEW is doing the thing where it's like, okay, you might have fucking 14 matches, or I'll be gracious, like let's say 12. 5 of those will probably have some very strong storyline build, and the rest will taper either in between where it's got like a lukewarm build, maybe a couple weeks at most, and then someone's just like, hey, we forgot so-and-so's the contender for this title. Go.
Yeah. So the thing is with this is you sit here and you want to watch really good wrestling show. I'm actually going to pull up. I just want you to hear this.
By the way, it's also the pro and con of the cruiserweight division in WCW, right? Cruiserweight division, fucking amazing division in WCW, but it have a lot of storylines into it. It did some, but not as many as the others did.
Oh,
They had 5 matches on a pre-show, right? So they actually had 10 matches.
Including the pre-show?
No.
So
that was
15.
Including the pre-show would be 15.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah.
So how the fuck are you...
I want you to listen to Kyle Fletcher beat Serpentico by pinfall in 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
Great.
Squash match.
Why in the fuck... Kyle Fletcher hasn't won a fucking match in forever.
By the way,
right?
just real quick little side note here, and again, I just want to really stress that, like, Tony Khan, you should hire me for Ring of Honor. If you're gonna fucking have these pre-show matches, just make them Ring of Honor highlight matches. No titles, but highlight some Ring of Honor talent. Continue.
The kings of the Black Throne.
Black Throat? What?
Malachi Black.
Oh.
The kings of the Black Throne.
Oh, wrong. Sorry, wrong tab was open. Good.
Malachi and Brody King defeated Tomohiro Ishii and Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and Gable Kidd, with Gato, Matt Taven, and Mike Bennett, and Private Party in a 4-way match. 8 minutes, 35 seconds. How are you going to fucking fit all...
Yep.
How does every person getting their screen time in just 8 minutes?
Willow Nightingale and Tam Nakano defeated Chris Statlander and Momo Watanabe.
And I agree with you, Alpha.
10 minutes and 15 seconds. What the fuck is that?
Okay. can I bring up a point? What about the
No,
invasion?
because I'm not done yet. Wait until I'm done. Mariah May beat with time. She has a fucking match, but yeah, here she comes out in a fucking pre-show to fucking support fucking Mariah May. Defeated Saraya.
By the way,
Harley Cameron.
By the way,
by pinfall.
Disney, if you're listening and you're looking to cast a live action version for Inside Out, for Anger, I present to you Jeremy Baker. He literally just got angry and raised his voice mid sentence, and I was like, "What?
That match was 8 minutes and 30 seconds. The Lucha Brothers, we all know who they are. I ain't gonna fucking tell them. And Mystico, whoever the fuck that is, defeated Los Ingobernables de Japan of Tsuji, Titan, and Hiromu Takahashi. Actually, I would have had fucking Los Ingobernables de Japan win that fucking match. Other than fucking those guys, why do they always have? Why does AEW have to win every fucking match?
Well,
You call it Forbidden Door. Here's the fucking stupid. It's fucking dumb. Why in the fuck are you having AEW win every single fucking match? You sit here and you want to partner with these people, but we're not going to give you shit. I'm not done yet. The opening of the show is MJF versus Hechikero. Who the fuck is that guy? And that was a stat. Why is MJF wrestling this guy?
And why did he get almost 10 minutes?
And he only got 10 minutes.
Forbidden.
But technically, there was one match that New Japan won. It was Zack Sabre Jr. He beat
The Elite? The Elite? Well, he should fucking beat that. Everybody should beat that fucking guy. I'll get to that fucking stupid shit. The Elite defeated Scissor Ace. What the fuck kind of stupid shit is that? Tanahashi showed up for that. I would have had. Why is the Elite winning everything? That match lasted 13 minutes. Bryan Danielson defeated Shingo Takagi. That was 20 minutes. Timeless Tony Storm defeated Mina Shirakawa. 11 minutes and 40 seconds. They actually tried telling a story with that shit, and it sucked. Tony Storm is horrible.
No.
She's horrible.
No,
it's horrible.
It's
timeless. She's timeless. I have no time for her.
And spit on that thing.
I cannot stand watching that woman. She is horrible. Ever since she started this timeless bullshit, it has made me want to change the channel every single fucking time. And I do.
I think it's great.
She's horrible. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Orange Cassidy. Yes. Zack Sabre won by submission because that's all Zack Sabre Jr. knows how to fucking do.
And that match should not have been 16 minutes and 20 seconds.
No, because
that match was great, by the way.
Was it though? Because Zack Sabre Jr. You know how I feel about Zack Sabre Jr. I call him my shits. I got to go take a Zack Sabre Jr. I do not care for the guy because he doesn't wrestle anybody else's matches. You have to wrestle what he wants to wrestle, or else he can't wrestle.
Well,
he
matched very well with Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy wrestled pretty good with him. Like,
Orange Cassidy wrestles with his hands in his fucking pocket.
Yeah, but it's not like
it's terrible.
He's very athletic.
The thing of it is that Orange Cassidy can be used very well and can be used the right way, but they just didn't. They haven't tracked that path. Like,
no.
Here's what I think of Orange Cassidy, and here's what I think of AEW in general. It's Cirque du Soleil. If I wanted to watch that, I'd go to Vegas and watch Cirque du Soleil. Come on, man.
So Orange Cassidy, I could actually like. At first, it would be a gimmick. I'd be like, nope, not getting any sort of title anywhere remotely near him, just because of the gimmick. However, you could manage some lower card championship depending on how you do it, but you've got to build to it. That's
the unemployment line.
The only way that they almost did it with Santino. Remember when Santino was like hot as fuck and they almost made him.
Santino could actually wrestle.
Well, I was gonna say, in certain situations, I've seen Orange Cassidy do some decent stuff, but
I'm
the
not saying, but then
but
he does the stupid.
I was gonna say
He does the chop where he does this.
I was about to say that stuff is entertaining and funny, but
No.
it's hard to justify putting him in a higher position on the card, generally speaking, because there's only so far that gimmick can get up to as far as like a popularity level or a believability level.
Even when he was involved in a very serious thing with him and Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I mean. I watched some of that, and that's what I mean. It's like
The guy can't even do a feud right.
It's tough, and like it's hard to that's a tough gimmick and a tough character. But
Samoa Joe, Book, and Katsuyori Shibata. I actually seen somebody on Twitter say this guy needs to stop doing strikes because he's not even hitting the guy. What the fuck is that?
It's the Forbidden Door.
If you go look at Minoru Suzuki,
JP, it's Forbidden Door number 2.
actually this is the third one.
Yeah,
If-
it's the third one.
If you really think about it,
Yep.
if you go watch New Japan, at least they look like they actually hit people. When Shibata does this shit,
It looks forbidden.
it shouldn't do it.
It's forbidden.
They beat the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho and Big Bill and Jeff Cobb by pinfall. So who took the pin there?
Nobody knows.
The audience.
I know Chris Jericho isn't taking the pin.
It was probably Big Bill.
I heard there were chants of you need to retire.
Yes, that was.
It's
funny.
like every week. Chris Jericho, goodbye. Jack Perry defeated Takashita.
Bless
Jim
you.
Cornette, Jim Cornette calls him take a shit. I fucking love it. Jim Cornette calls him take a shit. He defeated Jack Perry defeated Takashita, however the fuck you say his name. Briscoe, Dante Martin, Leo Rush, and El Phantasmo.
Easy by
They just threw a guy from New Japan in there just to throw a guy from New Japan in there. Why? I don't know. And he ended up winning the AEW TNT title.
Casey.
Mercedes Moné defeated Stephanie Vaquer.
Casey, real quick, they made the announcement, we were talking about this before you hopped on, about the New Japan Dynasty or Wrestle Dynasty card for January 5th. Did you see that announcement?
Kind of.
Yeah, so I guess they're doing some show. They're doing a show the day.
Yes.
the
Yes,
di-
I remember it now. It's like has Ring of Honor,
AEW, CMLL, Stardom, and New Japan.
Yes, it's 5 companies.
No, it's just another. It's
Forbidden. It's a second Forbidden Door.
Forbidden Door.
Or
It's your forbidden back door.
oh, what's that? The one that from AWA, the one Vern Gagne did.
Super Clash.
Just said it.
Yes,
AEW.
their Super Clash.
Yeah, it's basically
Well, this one's called the what is it,
Wrestle Dynasty. Yeah.
But they used to do, and they're not doing away with Wrestle Kingdom. Wrestle Kingdom is just going to be one day now on January 4th, because they used to have New Year's Dash, which happened the day after. Do y'all remember when AJ Styles left to come to WWE?
Yep.
Kenny Omega beat the shit out of fucking AJ Styles
Yep.
at the New Year's Dash. That's just what Wrestle Dynasty is.
Also-
and they're just,
I was gonna say it does help that Wrestle Kingdom on January 4th is a Saturday and Wrestle Dynasty would be a Sunday, so it also fits well as far as like right in the weekend. So
and thank God this happened. I forgot that this was a fucking match. Why this wasn't on New Japan,
Mhm.
I don't fucking know. Tetsuya Naito defeated John Moxley. Thank God.
Oh,
yeah.
That guy should never have a fucking title. John Moxley's a clown. He's an incoherent fucking clown. And then Swerve Strickland defeated Will Ospreay by pinfall. So you're just gonna beat Will Ospreay because we're just gonna do it next year.
This is the problem.
How in the fuck is that gonna build Wembley?
I didn't say it was going to be a good job. I just said it's probably what they're going to do.
So terrible. No, I know what they're doing. You know what's gonna happen, and then they're gonna have him win.
Wait. I think I know what they're going to do.
Oh, you gotta give him that huck too and spit on that thing. You get me?
For the Brits.
So you can't tell me that was a well put together show.
You know, I noticed one thing. They're not boasting about the tickets for Wembley like last year.
No
And then
shit.
they're like,
Oh, they learned their fucking lesson.
Why
Too bad they
boast
didn't learn
about it?
anything else.
Why even say anything? You already fucking did it, and now half the people are gonna fucking show up.
I mean, unless they sell out at this point, it really doesn't kind of matter. You know what I mean? Like they're only be able to get away with this so many times, and then maybe it's maybe it is indicative of low ticket sales. Who knows? But
It's England.
I mean, I'm
Don't show up for anything.
honestly,
They have no lives over there.
they should. It's all in, right?
Gonna need a new tattoo.
yeah.
Okay, to be very honest, just I'm sure this has been said many a times by other fans too. All in should just be their goddamn WrestleMania and fucking build everything else up around that. They've already proven they can do that. If you make the supercard there and establish that, it's right around the same time frame as the first pay-per-view you guys did anyway. So like, fuck it, just do it that way. You know you guys have an overcrowd in UK. Like, fucking just do it.
Let me tell you something about Toni Storm.
Okay, unprompted.
Her finisher sucks.
Okay,
It
unprompted.
has no fucking impact.
Okay.
Like she doesn't even she's 2 inches off the ground when she hits her move.
So what prompted you to say this?
Because Aaron in the chat, he goes, Toni Storm was terrible in WWE too. I didn't care for her. I didn't think she was that big of a star.
Which one's worse, that or when China would do her was it flips from
The
one
back
corner to-
handsprings?
Yeah.
That was storyline driven.
And and then she would give the person the elbow. Like, is that the elbow of doom?
Name me a wrestler that doesn't, a women's wrestler that doesn't do that today.
Say Trish did it a bunch of times too, but I get it. It's over the done flippy shit. Yeah.
Tiffany Stratton?
They were just showing that China was an athletic person. She wasn't just this fucking monster.
She's a former cheerleader.
I mean, come on, man.
I felt
Toni
China-
Storm is. I cannot. I didn't like her in WWE. I didn't see what everybody saw in her. The only thing that, I know what everybody saw in her is her fucking
gigantic ass.
Her gigantic fucking ass.
I mean, I don't mind the timeless gimmick. I think it's kind of, and cute. I won't say cute,
That's
but like.
another thing. Yeah, that's another thing that fucking annoys me. Is all I see is, oh my god, fucking what's her fucking nuts? Anna Jay. Oh my god, look at her ass. Like, I don't fucking want to look at Sky Blue. Look at her ass. Toni Storm. Look at her ass.
Yeah, JP, we know you're a tits man.
Fucking care. I'm not there to look at someone's ass.
No, we know you're a tits man.
Yes, that too.
I am too, but I like booties, so either way, but.
Whoa, what?
But I just don't see why that actually need. That's why people like these women, is because they have fat asses.
Oh, by the way, real quick.
I'm not saying, and they're good. They're good looking. They're very
real.
They have good figures. So I'm not saying that they're fat. It's just. Come on.
We got you. Real quick side note, I forgot to mention this when we were doing the Money in the Bank predictions before we wrap this up. Chelsea Green tweeted something along the lines of that if she wins the women's Money in the Bank and then she cashes in that night, she's bringing back the Divas title.
Oh God!
Of course.
I think that's just that makes me laugh.
That just tells you she's not winning.
No, exactly.
She's an idiot.
Right.
She doesn't know how to fucking not just be stupid.
But that's her character. Anywho.
fucking belt of all.
I know the tramp stamp.
Well,
Tramp stamp title. We wrap this bad boy up. It's getting super uber duper late. Thank you, JP. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Casey, for popping in. Always a pleasure. Thanks to all you guys in the chat. Appreciate it as always. We'll be back probably Wednesday with some sort of gameplay. Don't know what.
I will be
Maybe on
I'll be on vacation. That's 4th of July.
Oh, you gotta give him that huck too and spit on that thing. You get me?
Get that, JP?
These nuts. Got him.
So that is actually the 4th of July.
Sorry, they
This
had
Wednesday.
Thursday.
Thursday.
Close enough. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate it as always. We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys soon for something fun. In the meantime, peace out, y'all.
No, it's
Night, guys.